are some stories making up the headlines from the regions. Now, the Odiko, Queen Mothers, and the elders of the Gomaka Kabra Down in the central region have appealed to the Inspector General of the Police and the government to construct police posts in the community to help reduce criminal activities. According to the traditional authorities, the rapid growth of the community and the influx of people from different areas have led to increased cases of theft and insecurity, leaving residents in fear. Here is the Odiko of the Gomaka Kabra Town, Saliki Baradu Fuseni, speaking to Metro TV.
Yeah, Mr. Buying Sir Ombaka Kabra Down. Number Shemi. And then my phone and say, right to me, he said, "Doors upon and I am secret in so form. And a public with you, man, whoever knew the other book, no more rather Marco Young Yaman. Tier to 2 star and say, Pancho, on Bombardier, number police post, keep 280 miles. Now you to know why we are the new Biacasa. I may have done the same bois. Now I am Boko no buy because you're dorsal. You're dorsal for me to mean kind, you do.
Nanaya Eseidu, the Jasihima of the Gomaka Kabra Down, also appealed to the government and also the House of Chief and the other traditional authorities to promote peace and unity among chiefs and primaders in the area for development.
Metoto asere se ahemfontem asundue eniwa aban bi obebe bia ne botaye ne enkowie peye yemfa ne se entokwa ewo ya ahemfontem a emwa makwaye oba ahemen metoto sere se ahemfonyina ma asundue emra omontem omoma enkabom emra omontem ye ya batan inti yehia asundue.
And in the central region, the chief fishermen of Briwa have urgently demanded the construction of a landing site to prevent their canoes from destruction during storms. On Tuesday, February 3, 2026, several canoes were carried away by rough seas during the storm. According to the chief fisherman of Briwa, Nana Kofi Afamwa V, the fishermen in the town are suffering due to the lack of a landing beach.
Utuwe yabibe tujete de kwatere saya ne fa nchan asam papa anam la ne site na yenye bi wo nti wa ma ya mani na no e de sense village na bi no cheso nsuno so mfa din seroma anya asoma bi na je wadamda ne site na jeni na agu da madina e kwadina amoti commander igwe no mabu mowre wonya ma bi an se village nti de mosi ya mi na ye na e de na asire wo so yabe.
Several fishermen also expressed their concerns, saying that their job is at risk.
Because I am my yes, I saw my being Moya there. Yeah, boy, but I bet you catch me. I bet you will tell you to follow about you will drama Yemen. Yes, you do. You're doing one of what so far. I'm the henna photo. If you are a mere question, you see, I could be being on holiday. Oh, you see, your highness, I for Fudumia, as one, you know, can actually learn it. When you know, if you be open and be a hen open the Java. You see, hey. I know my be no no unity. Well, do me be a fa be kwata ma be kwa nti. Rest rally aba. Oya be even ban fa me. Nya so ya talent.
Ya be na se kra. Wa me ye dwuma ye. Ye no tin se be ya ye twa ye kwan kai. Na ye ku ye meje. Sapora ye dwen ye dwuma. Ye hwa hwe abofra ba. Nti saga na aba. Ye me na adu no mbo he. Ma de se me asase ya wo ye dwuma me. E dwuma fa ta be fra. Ye ya wa kai. In the mamma put it to say, I came in or say, and if him and I may sham and actually. Sicasona wire. It's one moment now over your wife. Whatever the bush has the amo. The one say.
Be now. Now, no, you're cry. It's your sabbath. I'm one, I'm a boy. She's out of me. I'm not going to walk to Prince Wamma, why in front of what? What to one and tell us soon shall I my friend for ever started with my equation. What to quite be uncle baby, such a you what to quite. And now,
ye bi gele yesu ko ne ye ipo ko ko woko na woko sekwe woko moli woko kofu na ayemara ye kokwo ye gugo ye ipo ko nta ba ye san ama mo da hadina wa yo ednafu gbafu na mo fu ama me bi pam he.
For more stories, log on to metrotvonline.com or follow us on all our socials at Metro TV Ghana.
Eat and Kitamino. Moshaswa. Obieni wa ye bieni wa yetuaka. Nina e welcome. Se me wa fasi amehwe Otifie or cover city. Otifie sikani wa medema akwala ne de akọ. Eti ebesira aban si sika no November na ewo so no monhwe ya hyehyɛ November ane yaye eti esira aban no ye sika no on fe ma yen esanse ye ni dwuma bia di o ye nkura na ase ya ye wo no ye dwuma ni koko na me anim ni aban dada ofiri so no obeto ye koko mu ema ye se dollar wo soro enso ni yetumi to niema edi ye ho ye my school fees ni ye say ye nya ene mass prayer ni ye no ye nya biem ene wo koto aduro akobọ ukoko a baako 150 200 ene sika na ye di ni ye di ato aduro no ye nya ame ye koko no say akate no esaya na omo say koko no ti ye besra aban say won kai say ye nso ye nipa omo te ho ana omo de omu didi enom yanso ye nya bi ani yedi anom ye ne ema ene ye wo fa ase nom ye sere omo kai se omo age yen omo ba bedada yen wo beto obi to koko e ma ye 3100 mosi mo ba ma 6000 obi se 7000 ye ni age am yakoto aba amamo ene koko a the price amode to so e be kan ho no e 500 cedis ana amode be kan ho ana e ko 36000 3600 eno so a mutumi ntua se mo de asi wo se ada se ye beti koko so ana ye beto so me ye ma meto kwa me nkroma ye wo mo a me beto wo mo ye papa Lawrence no mo twam o mampanin kufo no na nado atamel so no koko a ye beto so no ye ti se ya ti koko so da eti onhwe ye na wanti koko no so na emomu ba bia sika ne hye no kofi ye sika ya metua ye ka ne ye ma ye wo faase ne ye nanan mo no intumi hwe om school ni bi na ba bi hyehyɛ no nso ye ma no atumi akoduru hobi na daache ye nso ye nye kamafo nti ye besere mo ma ye John Mama esedu nkatia Randy Abi o ye sports minister na wo se wona o ye Cocoa board chief executive wo Cocoa kura wonim wuram ana wahu Cocoa ana ye de wa beto so na hwe ba bi e modi aba ba wie ti esere won amomfi esika ma ye eno ne ye hwehwe
ba be se adwuma ba ya na betimi aye enso ya ire ho se ye be ye kua ade ahwe ye daache ade ahwe ye ma daache ye ma ko school no ma ba fie me ka chiro ko school pass eno abetra fie o se ma ko mo de me hu me ba mu se wa fon e ko mo de no sika nyina kakam ade ne ye nye Muhammad ada ye se uyo koko kuani a se wa asase so akodo bi ka ho dua koko na no so o ye twamene o pese o dada ye tiro hye da ye sa no ene ya dofo ye dua koko o pese o betua ye ka ada na ye sa so ne yire ne ma omu didi na denti na ama ye ho kire ye akuafo ye ho kire ye nia oye no o hwe ye esansa enipa ya no enhira wom enumie wom o hwe ne ya nnome no esansa abufuo traso edenomie eba se o be ya adwuma na edu anwum na wasa unya aduane di no na o de yafu pan na wakoda na wo ma na o mada o ma nu so na o mada ada na o yesa na se nanado enya nanado nyame o hira no na o ma ne nyincha esansa na odwe akuafo ho nanado kasa se do ne akuafo be kasa no na wakoma kura to yam tama na otua 3001 no na ye penisa esansa ebi ankam wanada yan tasa wantete yan na bom omaye nkuransha sanko no na da so waso a anka ye do akire osina nado eda akuafo onu mo no oyo dadafo eti so opesa ye body dimpa What's the sun suban?
No, we go to the same market. We'll go to the same labor market. We are buying the same input, the same weedicides, the same pesticides, the same fertilizers. So the cost is the same. For me, the impact is very huge because they come to you when they are in distress. Who do I go to when my cocoa beans have not been paid for? Who do I go to? Just last week, we sent about 75 beans. The clerk this time refused to even take them, because he will be responsible for the maintenance or the keep up of the beans. I don't know. There's this unhealthy speculation that they are going to reduce the price. I believe that is why the clerk refused to accept the extra beans we sent to him. So the minority, we had a press conference, I think, on Thursday, where we put to bear some of these issues. I heard the CEO of Cocoa Board, my very good friend, said that they were going to find a solution to, which for me is very unfortunate. We are not going to find a solution for beans that were bought in November last year, December last year, January this year. You could see that most of the beans, most of the cocoa beans, they are coming up. The pods are ripened. We need to put labor to it to be able to harvest them. How am I going to finance this? Very, very difficult situation, if you ask me. We are in a topology where there's a high demand for gold. There are a lot of galamsees, so acquisition of land even for new farms is a very difficult thing. Labor is expensive and very scarce because they prefer going to the galamsey site because it pays better than coming on the cocoa farm to labor.
Finally, what arsenals are available to you? Because they have come to you as their representative. Even though you're a victim, you are their mouthpiece. What are you going to do and what should they expect?
I believe we'll continue to engage. Like the government is very much aware of the situation. We can only pray and hope that they're able to find a solution. Because you see,
government is broke, The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Hello, good morning. Thank you very much for joining the show. This is Good Morning Ghana on the Metro Television. The show is live on 94.1 FM. That's on your radio dial. So I keep saying, please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. I want to say a big thanks to the Almighty God for making it possible for us to be back here to join the nation's conversation on the big issues, big issues that are making the rounds in our dear country, Ghana. I want to say a big thanks to the Almighty God for keeping us alive and kicking, and also to you, our cherished and valued viewers, for making time, and of course listeners for making time every morning to tune into the show. We're so grateful for your time and your attention. Today is the 10th, I believe, yes. Today is the 10th of February 2026, and this is the day the Lord has made. Indeed, we're glad in it, and we'll go straight ahead and look at what the newspapers are reporting this morning on the various front pages. And as usual, I'll start with the Daily Graphic. Daily Graphic this morning says that AGI ready for 24-hour economy, calls for stimulated investment, stronger supply chains. Kumasi Shoe Factory underutilized, 1,500 jobs at risk. Mahama cares to fund specialist medical training. Metro Lens this morning is reporting that NHIS staff embrace Fugu trend in solidarity with President Mahama, and there's a Gold Board CEO, Sami Jemfi, honored as Best CEO at 15th RTP Awards. And there's Abutre Kasu's NACOC FBI Interior Minister AG Iyoko as 10 million cedis in damages. Boku Alhaji Seidu Abagari granted 100,000 cedis bail. Gold board, Sami Jemfi honored. Okay, so I think I've looked at this already. Let's now look at the Ghanaian Times. It says government requires $600 million investment to revive Valco. Giadex CEO Mofa secures $90 million Danish deal for share processing. President Mahama inducted WACS patron. Speaker of Parliament calls for preservation of Dubois Center or Dubois Legacy. Nationwide HVP campaign, 1.9 million girls vaccinated. Dr. Kuchwati, that's her name. Daily Guide this morning is reporting the Gold Board CEO honored at RTP Awards and Yawaso East NDC votes buying saga. KNUST student falls to his death. That's quite unfortunate. Majority calls for polls annulments, and I'm talking about the Yawaso East NDC vote buying saga. As OSP probes the case. SkyTrain trial courts rejects AG's re-examination of witness. Richard Asiedu appointed EWANF President General. The Inside. Over 1,000 jobs created so far. The tangible impact of Chief Meful's ethical leadership in action at Ashaiman. The ZUPAC program unveiled to ease SHS boarding admission and eradicate bed-bug infestation. Renaming Ghana's Kotoka International Airport. History, identity, and the Pan-African quest for national unity. Family petitions Greater Accra Regional Minister over alleged security threat at Botiano lands. St. Michael's Specialist Hospital commissions dialysis unit in honor of Dr. Forisapon. For the Cuban people, surrender is not an option. Party elections must be contest of ideas, not auctions. Ira Adams Karim. And then you have the Economy Times that says that NPA's bold move to secure Ghana's fuel future hailed amid enforcement challenges. Ghana takes giants towards gold refinery, begins with artisanal sector. All right, so that's it for the front pages of the papers that we have today. I'm definitely going to check out what's online, and I'll start with the City Newsroom that says Ghana is quietly ditching ATMs as mobile money takes over banking. Offensu MP to Cocoa Board, tell cocoa farmers the truth. And as Randiabe, Cocoa Board failed to supply over 300,000 tons of cocoa in 2023-2024. The cocoa politics is still a big issue, huh? Now, pass it on. Guta Boss demonstrated share city gains with consumers. Prices have come down across board. The Guta president pushes back at public doubts. Now, if you go to Ghana Web, a report says that Oforikrum MP sets record straight on alleged abandonment of Apenyo marking by MPP MPs. Dropouts at Class 6 married to a 35-year-old Obolo shares touching story. Vote buying a moral test before the NDC. It's an interesting article. You may want to check it out. It's come in the wake of the Ayawaso East troubles, let me put it that way. And then you look at MetroTVOnline.com, my favorite, MetroTVOnline.com. It says NDC MPs call for cancellation of Ayawaso East primary over vote buying allegations. And then you have made a good Lord forgive you in Doom slums in Adomache over KIA renaming debate and the power of names rebranding Ghana's gateway. All right. So that's it for the newspaper and the online review. Please stay with us. It's a Good Morning Ghana. I'll let you know on my guest shortly.
receipt ane kita me no mo hwe so a obie ni wa ye ebie ni wa yatuaka ni nyina e wo kam sese me wo faase a me hwe no wotifie o cover city wotifie sika ni ho a me de ma akwala ne de akọ enti ye besira aban si ye sika no
da be na to
November na wo so no mo hwe ya hyehyɛ November ane yaye eti esra aban no ye sika no onfa ma yen esanse ye ni dwuma bia di o ye nkura na ase ha ye wo no ye dwuma ni koko na me anim ni aban dada wo free so no obeto ye koko mu ema ye se dollar wo soro enso ni yetumi to niema e de ye ho ye my school fees ni ye se ye nya ene mass prayer ni ye no ye nya biem ene wo koto aduro akobọ okoko a baako 150 200 ene sika no aye di ne de ato aduro no ye nya ame ye koko no se akate no ese ya na omo se koko no ti ye besra aban se won kai se yensu ye nipa omo te ho ana omo de omu didi enom yensu ye nya bi ani ye di anom ye ne ye ma ene ye wo fa ase nom ye sere omo kai se omo ade yen omo ba bedada yen wo beto obi to koko e ma ye 3100 mosi mo be ma 6000 obi se 7000 ye ni age am yakoto aba amamo ene koko a the price amode to so e be kan ho no e 500 cedis ana amode be kan ho ana ko 36000 3600 eno so a mutumi ntua se mo de asi wo se ada se ye beti koko so ana ye beto so me ye ma meto kwa me nkroma womo a me beto womo ye papa Lawrence no mo twam omampanin kufo no na nado atamel so no koko a ye beto so no ye ti se ya ti koko so da eti onhwe ye na wanti koko no so na emomu ba bia sika ne hye no kofa ye sika metua ye ka ne ye ma ye wo faase ne ye nanan mo no yintumi hwe om school ni bi na ba bia hye no nso ye ma no atumi akoduru hobi na daache ye nso ye nye ye kamafo nti ye besere mo ma ye John Mama esedu nkatia Randy Abi o ye sports minister na wo se wona o ye Cocoa board chief executive wo koko kura wonim wuram ane wahu koko ane ye de wa beto so.
All right. Thank you very much for staying with us. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Aldo Moro. So I promised you that our guests will be joining us, and I'll be introducing them. In fact, they're here. One of them is a journalist. He's always been a journalist. He's worked with a number of media houses until he joined, until public office took him away from journalism. But you know, we've been very good friends, and every time I've seen him in town, he tells me, "Charlie, I'm still a journalist." I say, "I know. The thing about journalism that you can never, you know, jettison it. It will always be a part of you." Of course, he was a good one as such, a very popular gentleman is what I'm talking about, and he was heading more or less the communications or the corporate affairs wing of the Cocoa Board. Yes, Ghana's Cocoa Board, and. He's here with us this morning. I think this I believe will be his first time on Good Morning Ghana. I believe, yes. Fifi, good morning. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Long time.
Very long time
yes.
since you started. Well, I've not been here.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, you've always been on the other side, grilling people and asking them the tough and critical questions. You know, now today he's on the other side. In fact, not even today. You've been on the other side for almost 8 years. You know,
yeah, more than 8 years.
Media houses are calling you and asking you questions. I don't know how, you know, how it felt back in the day when you found yourself on the other side. But we'll talk about that. Let me bring in your other colleague. Let me bring you your other colleague. Now, this gentleman I'm talking about is also a very, very good friend of mine. He's both an engineer and also, in fact, he's a mining engineer. Yes, and also a private legal practitioner. How rich a CV that looks. But anyways, so he's called Theophilus Jimega Jr., and he's also a member of the NDC's communications team. He's joined us this morning. Counsel, good morning.
Good morning.
Would you prefer, engineer or counsel?
One of my small boys said,
yes.
Indeed, I have 3 engineering degrees.
Hey.
Civil engineering.
3 engineering?
Yes, civil engineering.
You're civil engineering?
I'm a water resources engineer.
Okay.
And I'm a mining engineer.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
And you have degrees for all these?
Yes, and I went to school for them, not online. I sat in classroom, yes. For
mining engineer?
Yes, which I did in KNUST.
Water resources engineer
in Belgium. Civil engineering in London, South Bank University. I sat in classroom for all, not online, not correspondence.
So how many degrees do you have?
At the last count, the jury is out there counting. But one of my guys, Francis Dumarque, Esquire, says that before he became a lawyer, he says, "Senior, you have so many degrees in engineering, but when they ask you, you say you are a lawyer. So it's the more reason I want to be a lawyer too." So that's why he became a lawyer. I mean, the motivation for him.
Yes.
Yes. So.
But there's a certain sense, there's a certain feeling that you've elevated in the
engineering to
private
law.
legal, the private term, the legal practice, the practice over your engineering side.
I think because of people like you. Yes, and good morning to your viewers. And yes.
The point is that maybe the engineering is paying well, but as an engineer, nobody sees you as an engineer. But it was as a legal practitioner, because you are out there advocating. People then see you, so that gives a problem.
Yeah, it's an interesting point you made. I think that for some reason I don't know whether there's a word like elitized, but we see lawyers or the law profession as an elite profession as compared to engineering. I may be wrong, but I think there's that perception. I believe an engineer, a movobia, you know, as compared to say you're a lawyer or you're a medical doctor.
A lawyer is called a learned person.
Exactly.
No matter how much time you spent in school studying other courses, you are not called a learned person. But of course, people pay attention to things they see,
right,
or things they know. With engineering, no matter what you are doing at the mine site or whatever, how many people will see you at the mine site?
That's a very.
But of course, if you are an electrical engineer, someone will think that you are an electrician, and then they don't see the difference.
As a mining engineer, somewhere in the pit, who cares about the guy?
No, they are all the same.
It's about what we see.
It's about what we see.
I agree.
We glorify the things we see. That is why a lot of people pay attention to people on social media, people in the media space. Compared to others who, you know, the number of people who come to you for money. They will not go to a mining engineer who earns about 4, 5, 10 times what you earn.
You're right.
Because they see you. Then they believe you're the guy.
You're right. I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's all about visibility, what people see. You know, that's interesting. That's interesting. So how long does it take? How many years do you have to study in school to become or to qualify to be an engineer?
4 years.
4 years, okay.
I understand even then those who brought the engineering thought we couldn't even do it 4, so they started even with 5.
Okay.
Before they scale it down to 4. However, if you take, let's say, I went to School of Mines, not UMAT. I went to School of Mines, KNUST. If you take our transcript and you look at the courses being done by Camborne School of Mines in UK, the same. The only differences will be geology of Ghana, stuff like that relates to Ghana.
Okay.
But we do literally the same thing. Mine pit optimization, mine mechanics. And you know, our laws are such that only a mining engineer can be a mine manager.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So before you become a mining engineer, you have to do mine electricals, you have to do mine mechanical, you have to do metal processing. So that when you are a mine manager and they say there's something happening at the electrical department, you will not say, "Oh, what are you guys talking about?" At least I have an idea. So that is one of the reasons why the mining engineer has to be a mine manager, so that you know all that goes in every aspect of the mines. So it takes 4 years, but I think by the time you finish, a lot of the questions I keep asking myself, why did we study this? And,
you know, when he said he studied at KNUST, I was like, mining engineer at KNUST. But his explanation has brought the answer I was looking for. So you were in Tarkwa, right?
Yes, I was in Tarkwa.
Okay, so KNUST had a campus in Tarkwa, which is now UMAT.
Okay.
I remember when they were moving from School of Mines of KNUST. Some of the students said, well, we applied to KNUST. So moving to Western University College, we are going to change our certificate from KNUST. So now I understand.
So even transition to Western University, then to UMAT. And I think we'll give glory somehow to the founding Chancellor than Professor Amiro Kuchima. Now deceased, yes. Yeah. Yes, he did
but
very well.
Finally, what really is your motivation? Why all this plethora?
You want to chop the No, not. You see, when I was finishing the mining, yes. I did my thesis in water resources, looking at the impact of mining on water bodies around Tarkwa and the data. So having finished that, I got my national service was with community water. That gave me the interest to go and do water resources in Belgium. Now, then I saw that courses in mining and water resources are similar to courses in civil engineering. I mean, I don't need to study again. We have soil mechanics in mining, we have soil mechanics in water resources, soil mechanics in civil engineering, and I've done the two. So, but when you apply for, indeed, our head of department says that mining engineer then was an underground civil engineer. But when you apply for jobs in civil engineering, nobody picks you. They look at it and it's like, now you did mining engineering. So just to a top up, sort of. But all in all, I enjoyed all. I've practiced all as well in Ghana. When I returned to Ghana, I was with Newmont. I went on to become head of operations with Safe Water Network. Then I went to Berok as director of operations. They were more into civil work. So it's a very blend and a rich one. I pray one day it will be recognized.
Well, can we swap CVs if it's possible?
Envy no man. For God knows why he has made you so.
I like that. So Phoebe, like I said, I haven't. You and I haven't really interacted in a while. I guess that you know we both have been busy, and so we've not talked as regularly as we should. But you held a fort. I mean, I think you did a good job with Cocoa Board in terms of disseminating policies and programs and trying to also get the public to understand some issues that had come up. You know, cocoa politics has always been with us for a very long time, and so anytime issues about Cocoa Board comes up, you know, in line with your job, you were always available to respond to some issues that had come up. So I think that by and large you did a good job there.
Thank you.
Now,
as you said, cocoa is a big constituency. And it's a big political field. It is estimated that you have about 800,000 farmer households. And every household you have about 5 people. So that gives you about 4 million people who rely on the cocoa sector. Apart from the other businesses that are linked to cocoa industry. So anything that is about cocoa is important. And if you lose the cocoa sector, it affects you politically. So the politician is always interested in what is happening at Cocoa Board. And if you are not looking good in the cocoa sector, it has a huge impact on you politically. So
and electorally.
So at every point in time, you have the political class getting in there and making sure that Cocoa Board is pounded hard.
As we're beginning to see now, and we'll talk about that. It's one of the topics that
for now, I think the people who are engaging are the farmers who, for over 3 months, have not been paid. And 3 months without pay is huge.
We'll talk about it. Don't worry, we'll talk about it. I mean, once you're here, I don't see why we won't discuss Cocoa Board. But I mean, just briefly, how was the transition like? I mean, moving from media to mainstream public service, because that was you've been working with private organizations for your life, and then you get into public service. I mean, how did your life change? How was the transition like? And also, more importantly, how did you receive the defeat of the MPP in 2024, colossal as it was? I mean, close to 2 million votes that the party lost. And I'm sure that you've also been reflecting, you know, and you obviously would want your party not to repeat the mistakes that it made again. I mean, first of all, how was the transition? How did you feel when the party lost? Were you expecting, even if you felt that it wasn't going to go well, were you expecting this margin of loss? And if you felt that the party was definitely going to win the 2024 election, what were your reasons at the time? I mean, help us through that journey. Just briefly, and then we can go to the main.
At every point in time, as a person, I believe that you can move on. And nothing is constant.
Was it a difficult decision to move from private to public?
No, it wasn't. Of course, some of the people close to me were not too comfortable with the idea of me moving into public service. Because here you are questioned on almost everything, the things you used to do and get away with it. Now people begin to... I remember someone met me and said, hey, you've gone to Cocoa Body and you are driving a Mercedes Benz. The person didn't even know that was the car I was using when I was at the radio station. The same car I bought, I was using as a radio presenter. Now I go to Cocoa Body and I'm using the same car, and people are questioning, hey, you are using Cocoa money to drive this car.
So it's almost as if you can't reach overnight.
Yes. So people around me felt like, I think you are doing quite okay in the private life, and there's no pressure on you, you are fine. So why do you want to go into public life? But then I've also said to myself at the time that I felt the media space, I've played my parts, and there was a need for me to also explore something new. So no matter what the outcome of the 2016 election was going to be, I had said to myself I wanted to try something new. Then in 2016, around May, I moved to join Cocoa Board because we had some conversation with me and felt that, okay, I could be useful.
You mean 2017?
2017, yes. So I could be useful. So in 2017, I joined Cocoa Board. And even when I joined Cocoa Board, I said to myself I was going to work there for 4 years and leave. I don't know how come I stayed till 2024, and after the elections, I had to leave. The elections, I know in 2022, within my circle of friends, I said to them that the NPP was going to lose the 2024 elections. Because at least you are in town, you engage with people, you take the feed from what is in the public domain. And the expectations of people around that time, they were not getting what they felt government was supposed to do around 2022, after COVID and all the issues that came out. So I knew it was going to be a difficult elections, but early 2024, mid 2024, I felt the environment was changing. I remember very well when government started commissioning projects here and there, people started saying, oh really, so all this has been done. I had a conversation with a friend who was complaining bitterly, and the person lives close to where I live, around the East Legon, Ajegon enclave. And I started pointing out to the person, oh, you know the underbridge has been done, and I showed about 4 or 5 different routes in our locality that have been done. And I said, yeah, oh yeah, that's true. So that realization, I believed, was going to at least mitigate that anger in people. Unfortunately, it did not. It looked like the people had already taken their decision and they were going to vote the NPP out. But of course, you must respect the position of other people. I am very, very democratic. I am very receptive to the views of other people. So when the people had decided that, well, this is what we want, you respect it. You move on, you do other things. And yeah, after that, I ended up unemployed.
Are you sure you're unemployed?
Oh yeah.
You've always run 1 or 2 businesses.
Charlie, how good do I?
You have to put body and soul together.
It's important. Yeah. You have to do that. I ended up unemployed, and then I have to look at my options. I'm still considering maybe offer me a job here. But hey, yes, we still have to do what is expected of us. The small things we can do on our own to move on. Sure. So that has been it. But as a political party, your wish is to be in government. But of course, you also must be measured in your expectations, where you do not think that if that is what you want, automatically that must be the case. It is the voter that will decide whether or not you are to be in government or not. And if the voters have decided that, well, the NDC should be in government at this time, we must respect it. It is our expectation that the country will develop, because if the country develops, it is in the interest of all of us who are in the country. But hey, we still as a political party must work and make sure that we win power, because we believe that comparatively we are a better political party than the NDC. And when we get the opportunity, we shall be able to do better than what the NDC is doing presently.
You commissioned the Professor Michael Quay report, which was supposed to be what I call the official or a more scientific diagnosis of what may have caused your defeat. And then also, there are others who have also been proffering their own opinion or expressing their own opinion as to what may have caused the party's defeat in 2024. Now, when you put all of that together, based on what you've also heard through interacting with people even before the elections, and your own observations, sitting in your own small corner cocoa board, listening to media, and even when your party full soldiers come to you at cocoa board to pay you a visit, and the kinds of things that you hear them say, do you think that your party, and maybe okay, but members of your party, I don't want to use party, members of your party have a correct or a more, I mean, are they getting it right with their put it this way, with the analysis or diagnosis of exactly what may have caused the problem? Or you think there's something that maybe the party did not get? Because you see, there are two schools of thought. There are some who say it was not the MPP, the NDC did not win. It was your party's rank and file that did not come out to vote. Close to about 1.something million people didn't come out to vote, and that may have caused the defeat. And some are also saying that, look, it may not be right because the people who voted for Nana Akufo-Addo in 2024, in 2016, we don't know whether all of them are MPP people. And if they're all of them are MPP people, how many were MPP, how many were floating voters? So I'm saying that the numbers are not static. So if you assume that the 2016 numbers are all MPP people, then that argument will stand. But you and I know that that's over 6.something million they may not all be MPP people. So it depends on how you look at it. Do you think it was more of your people being upset and being unhappy with you? In some cases, people the feeling that, well, you know, I wanted some help from somebody I didn't get, and so on and so forth, and so, you know, I won't go out to vote. Was that really the issue, or you think that it was some decisions that government took that really made the people of Ghana angry and decided not to go and vote?
Well, it varies.
It varies. Okay.
It varies. Unfortunately, I've not had the opportunity to read the Professor Okoye report because it's not been made public.
First of all, do you think it should be made public? For instance, if you want to have a look, it should be. If you want to see it,
I believe that those who have had the opportunity to see it may have a justifiable reason why they've not made it public. At least I've been in the media space for some time, and I know the kind of mischief that people can play with such a report. Someone may innocuously pass a comment that was captured in the report. If it should find its way in the public domain, the kind of mischief people can play with that innocuous comment, you have no idea. I remember very well when the report came, people were even quoting persons who were not even spoken to during the research, and quoting them. I was actually even quoted to have said certain things to the committee, and then it was flying all over on social media, even though the committee never contacted me. I was not part of the people. So just imagine persons who were in that enterprise having access to the document, and they find a comment, and people do all manner of things. It will interest you to know that somebody may even, out of dislike for you, sponsor someone to say that, oh, well, I think Moro did A, B, C, D, and that is what contributed to the party's defeat. And that finds its way in the report. People have access to it and what they can do with it. So I believe what the leadership of the party has decided to do is rather to say that let us be mindful of what we push out there. I also agree with those who say that, well, let us know what is in there so that it guides us in what we do in winning back power. Because if we are all to assume what may be in there, then we are not guided. But then if you also listen to those in charge of the party, they say that it is forming the basis of formulating programs and projects for the party. And when we execute such, it will help in addressing the things we did not get right going forward. So yes, people have the right to ask for those things, but I believe that it is also important that we guard against the possible mischief. And that mischief, I tell you, I've been in the space that I know.
The mischief originated when the.
If you get hold of the thing, they are dead.
No, when the Professor Kosiboche report came out.
Yes.
That's where the mischief started.
Yes,
so the ones that they had, I think, was just a payback. Even reading some of the comments, you will find, let's say, Moro went to this place and shared money to girls, page 39. Then you see Fifi Buafu goes to this page 39. Then you go. Then I'm asking myself, what I thought is on that page 39. Everybody.
It looks like everything was
on that particular page. But the last time I was here, you said I shouldn't just say chasing the elephant into the bush. You said I should add the politics of complacency.
Complacency, yes.
Yes, but
that's
if
the title of the book.
If you read that book, I think it helped NPP greatly. Okay. The things that Arthur Kennedy wrote. Indeed, me as a politician, it helped me. I bought 6 copies and gave to guys who were working with me.
But are those issues still relevant today?
They could be. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that that was an open surgery, sort of. Someone who was deep in there was able to tell you that this and that happened. For example, today when people are talking, I refer them to what he wrote about Ken Ofori-Atta then, and what he wrote about the Ofori-Atta family and the Chebli guys, how they were educated, how they were able to support, how they were able to raise resources, etc. So I would have thought that reports such as this somehow let the highlights be known, and on the need to know basis that you extend to people who will know. Yeah. We of NDC largely believe that the numbers you mentioned, the 1 point something, never existed anyway. So, and that's why every day we pay tribute to Dr. Omani Boama and his able deputies, having activated body cameras to stop until 2024 election. I never knew that in today's era, people can still swap ballot boxes, people can starve. I never knew. I am the skeptical type until my boys went to parts of Ashanti and were sending videos. This is what we saw. And remember, I was designated as the lawyer for Afajato South. That was where we found biometric machines which were not activated, which were in the vehicle, private vehicle of the EC officer, who gave the reason that he took them because the official vehicle was not available. Whoa. She was taking them from Ho to Afajato, so we had to get them to be stored at Volta North Regional Police Command in Hohwe, and said that they were bringing some of the machines in case some of the BVD machines didn't work or do not work, they will activate those ones. So some of these things went in, and indeed there was a constituency where Madam Betty Moll Idrisu comes from. The difference between Nana Akufo-Addo in 2020 and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was over 70,000. Wow. That would have swallowed a lot of constituencies. So if you plug some of those holes, so the numbers that the people were there, indeed, as you said, what shows that if the people had come out, they would have voted for MPP anyway. Right. There was nothing that showed they would have voted for MPP. So for me, again, much as you will say the UFIASM, right. That is a party we should all be interested in. Indeed, we were here before their primaries, and we said that because they are government in waiting, how long they wait, that I make no further comment. Yeah. Because it's a government in waiting, we have to be interested in whatever happens in that house. Okay. We will not encourage a one-party system. We would like to see the growth of the party, albeit whether stagnant growth, whether non-productive growth. But we will have to see a group that will be there and will still talk for some segment of Ghanaians. So for me, that report, I think, should have been made available. But I feel if that report had been made available to some people who would not have been, have had the legs to stand today. So sometimes, as the elders in the house, you watch certain things and you're like, as for this particular one, let us not give it out. Yeah. You see the Epstein files. Some have been redacted. Yeah. Then today they are asking that we want to see the redacted version. Yeah. Because perhaps you redacted where enablers, assisters, conspirators were instead of the victims and survivors. So I think that on the need to know basis, some of these things, they are good to open up. Unfortunately, when you allow people to air their grievances in a certain way, they tend to pull the system down. So on that score, because a manager can decide to do a 360 review for himself so that his subordinates will be open. Sometimes you finish that review, if you are not careful, you will commit suicide. Then you ask yourself, these the people I've been with throughout. So sometimes it's also good to get the balance.
Right.
But going forward, some of the things that indeed came out from, let the party be bold to say, we failed here. We were okay with this. Indeed, in just before 2024, I don't think it took anybody, any prophet, magician to see that they were going to lose.
Okay.
But maybe the scale of the loss, that's why we didn't know then.
Okay.
You know, Pio was talking about the fact that, well, the numbers did not exist and all that. You know what? When you win, like the NDC did in the last election, you make a lot of assumptions, and the feel good factor may make you say things which I believe are not really the case. I remember when the MPP won in 2016, there were those in the MPP who said, oh, NDC, it will take them the next 30 years to come back to power and all that. We have gone round. We still engage and interact with people. And there are people you will not for a second think that these people will not vote in an election, who have publicly said that I did not vote.
Wow.
And some of them are even party activists, known people. You remember recently Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng saying on radio or television that he did not vote. Who would have assumed that Professor Frimpong Boateng, a man who served as a Minister of State in the MPP government, said he did not vote? How much more someone who is only a party sympathizer or supporter in a small community? There are several people who did not vote. If you look at the numbers, about 50, or close to 50% of people in some constituencies did not even show up to vote. You ask yourself, where are all these people? Is it a case that they were also not registered? How did they get their names into the voters list? So if you say that the numbers did not exist, then you are questioning the credibility of the voters register we have. In my constituency, Taquanshaim, for example, we have 140,050 people registered in the voters room. The people who voted were just about 70,000.
Wow.
So if you say that, well, previously the numbers were not there, then it means that the about 70,000 people who did not show up to vote, you are doubting it. But that should tell you that if these persons are convinced that, well, the decision we took by not showing up to vote, this time I will go and vote, the dynamics will be different. So, Council, don't be
you know the recruitment, the military, the services recruitment being done. A great chunk of the applicants are doing statutory declaration saying that their ages are different from what is on their Ghana card. Because as at maybe 15, 16, they had Ghana card of 18 and went and were going to vote. You see, a great chunk of the people are only calling. So when you go to the centers where they are doing document verification, there are commissioners for oaths there waiting and printing and typing and taking 200, 250, doing for a great number of them.
I get a point that there's a likelihood that someone may have registered with a different age. But what you should note is that there were several people who registered. So even if they were not 18 and they registered, they still had the opportunity to go and vote. And they did not show up. So
because we activated something that didn't allow them to come and vote. That's what I'm saying.
If the people were 17 and they registered and they had their card, they had their Ghana card, they had their voters ID card, I'm not sure anyone would have prevented them from voting. The people did not show up to vote. So I am only making the point that in this mood, Council, you feel good. Man, you beat your opponent with this huge margin. These things, you say them. But when the reality hits home, when we as a political party, we are able to go back to our people and say that, well, we realized you were not happy with us on these issues. This is how we intend addressing those issues. If they agree with us and they show up, the story will change.
Yeah. Okay.
And he also talked about the fact that they were not interested in one-party system. I think he is just one of the few people, because sometimes some of the government decisions and some of government actions, it makes you question whether or not government is really interested in promoting multi-party democracy in this country. But well, that's not a topic for today. But Council, trust me, there are people in your ranks who are not only wishing but actively working and seeking to make sure that they completely weaken the opposition party such that they will not be decent. But definitely, there shall be people who will speak up against some of the things being done. Just look at the situation whereby these days people make comments and they are whisked away, spend time in police cells. They are being asked to bail terms that are ridiculous. We've not seen in our history. So, indirectly stifling public discourse, because people will say to themselves, why must I go and talk? Because if I do so and I'm being whisked to the police station and then they said we must meet a bail bond of 200 million, who in my family can come and guarantee for me to go home? So people will now keep quiet. I believe that in promoting democracy, some of these actions, we must watch them. Council, you are a lawyer, and you know very well in recent time, before you came into power, how you have complained about the judiciary. Then you have the flag bearer of your party, who is now the president, go to a meeting with NDC lawyers and say that, prepare yourselves, you go to the judiciary. I think that was a threat to our democracy.
No, you said prepare yourself, make yourself comfortable. So when the opposition, I can tell you that.
And indeed, he did not just utter those words. When he won, look at what has happened to our judiciary. The Supreme Court, the people who were complaining about the numbers at the Supreme Court, how many people have been sent to the Supreme Court? How many people have been sent to the Court of Appeal? How many High Court judges have been appointed? And this is, I'm not in any way saying that if somebody is an NDC, he cannot be a judge. Or if somebody is an MPP, the person cannot be a judge. But in a political campaign mood, you make a promise, and you do not let it end there as a political promise, but you actually act on it. A judiciary, an institution that is supposed to be an arbiter. That is
bro. If I smile, not with any respect to you, but you are making me. You see, almost all the people promoted to the High Court, only 3 were non-circuit court judges, and those circuit court judges were appointed by Nana Akufo-Addo. So, if we want to do those ones, we can forget.
The point is that there was a promise, and the promise has been acted on.
I don't want to say.
And the promise was to NDC.
I don't want to say, but I can tell you that under NDC, in NDC lawyers, among NDC lawyers, those who have put their hand to chest to say, I'm going to the bench, I don't think they are even up to 3. I'm telling you. Under NDC lawyers, those who might have failed form, I mean, to say I want to join. Remember, I'm the secretary to Linsod. Okay, so I guess some of these things, people will call you, do we do this? You even call people, are you not interested? I can tell you, among the NDC lawyers, if we will say that call by His Excellency.
Why did you form that association, if I may ask?
Which of them?
The NDC lawyers.
Honorable Apenyo Kings recently said something that NDC is now so attractive that even if you are on a university campus and say you are an NDC member, you can win election. Previously, you can't win. Some of these things, like NDC is a freedom of association. There's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with it.
I asked that question because of something I saw recently. And I was frightened when I saw that. For lawyers, if the person is into private practice and the person is a known political actor, that's no big deal. But recently, nurses, NDC Nurses Association, and I was scared because just imagine, and for a nurse, for a lawyer, I can decide which lawyer I go to. I will choose my lawyer. But for a nurse, you cannot always, or a doctor.
Maybe you now know, because in Huawei, we had nurses for John Peter Amewu. We have nurses, teachers for JPA. And we had all of them.
The point is that you see, there are certain things we must not encourage as a people. I'm saying that I cannot determine the doctor I go to or the nurse I go to. Yes, when I'm not feeling well today, I have a hospital I go to. I may just drive myself there, or someone may drive me there. But touch wood, in an unfortunate situation where you are involved in an accident or an emergency, you find yourself outside your regular jurisdiction, and you are taken to a hospital.
And you are known to be MPP.
And you are known to be MPP or known to NDC. And the nurse who is going to take care of you is NDC nurse or NDC doctor.
They'll stick by their professional codes. Yes. We even have Atachi was the lawyer for former president.
But trust me, there are people who don't just take politics for being expression of views.
I agree with you.
Very passionate, and they take it to the next level. At the moment the person considers himself or herself NDC doctor or NDC nurse, they will take it to the next level. Even the person is just a member or a sympathizer of the political party, that's different.
Indeed, Moro, what he has said.
But if the person forms an association actively promoting a certain agenda, that's worrying.
I think that Fifi acknowledges the partisanship that is associated with the formation of association. He acknowledges that, and I think it's across the board.
It is.
And the MPP and DC are both guilty. But I think his issue is that it is something we must discourage.
Okay.
Because of how emotional and sentimental with some of sentimental attachment we give to politics, so that you don't have a situation where somebody falls sick or something happens to the person, you really don't have that chance or opportunity to determine where you want to go. You find yourself somewhere.
You see, until
recently, and even when you're in bed, and they say, I saw you on TV, you are an NDC, nurse, so don't take care of me, and then the person dies. That's how far some people can go.
Until recently, before then, let me say that today, NDC is starting registration of new members. Yeah. So I encourage, let me use your platform to encourage every member
to go doctors to join.
To go and register. You see, there is always a mischief to be cured by people coming together.
Right.
When they have never been together in the first place. I'll give the Ghana Law Society and GBA as an example. Until recently, yes, if you see, to the extent that Justice Jones Doche.
Oh, are you not a member of the Ghana Law Society?
I am.
Oh.
I've paid my dues.
So you have abandoned GB?
No, I've not abandoned GB.
It is only to weaken GB. It is an
NDC. Why do you think
that? The Ghana Law Society is an NDC.
Why do you think that? That's why I'm saying that, my brother, there is a mischief to be cured.
But you see, Ghana Bar Association. One second. Ghana Bar Association.
Yes.
Just check some of the people who have been president of Ghana Bars. Neo Samuels was the president of the
He
Bar
was booted out. He was booted out.
Neo Samuels was president. Was he not NDC?
Yeah, he was booted out for saying that.
So you see what I was talking about.
For saying that. For saying that.
To weaken institutions
for saying
for political reasons.
For saying
and that is not correct.
For visiting Chachu Chikata, a lawyer, on behalf of GBA. That's all. He was booted out. Now the reason I'm trying to say this, Justice Doche Jones, emeritus of the Justice of the Supreme Court, at our bar conference in Ho, said that begin to talk. Because GBA, when MPP was in power, became quiet. They became silent. Indeed, at our last bar, the bar conference in Kumasi, where Yao Boafo was exiting, was the only time when he finished talking, he had a standing ovation. Because at least he was going. He cares not about anything. So he mentioned Osam Mills. He should mention the others. Frank Davis, Nene Amegache, Efwagate, the current president. He should go, the vice, Victoria Bart. He should mention all of them. And you see, we have seen a situation where when it is the turn of MPP, GBA becomes quiet. When His Excellency John Dramani Mahama campaigning then met them, he asked them, why were you now quiet? That was the time of Tony Forson. Now, when he became president and he met them, he said, feel free and continue to criticize and talk about the ills.
I'm sure you hear your party operatives.
Yeah.
When the GBA makes a statement or contribute to a conversation, the attacks they receive. And you see, it is contradictory. If the leader of the NDC tells GBA that feel free, make your views known, whenever they speak, the attacks they receive, it is no one that backs the decision or the statement by the president.
You see, let's be clear here. Let's be clear here. Indeed, the only other association,
and it is also expected of you as NDC members, at least to support what the president says. So if the president says that allow people to air their views, and when they air their views, they attack.
Somewhere along the line, in terms of management and corporate governance strategy, one of your rules when you were at Cocoa Board was to shield the CEO. One of your rules, whether written or unwritten, was to shield the CEO. So you couldn't have allowed the CEO to be out there saying everything every day. And indeed, there are certain things you say it before you cross-check with the CEO and realize that this might not necessarily align with the views of the CEO, but it was okay. I said it already. Let's move on. Right. And you see, the president says, criticize me. You remember just before when the GBA itself issued a communique to say that so far the removal of Justice Tokonu, the process was going fine. Then you have another group led by my very good senior and lecturer, the former Deputy Attorney General, Diana Sonaba Dapa. They also organized something quickly and came out with a communique that condemned everything. Then you are asking yourself, where are we heading with this?
Okay.
You see,
so I think the point you're making is that nobody can convince you that the GBA as it is now, or the GBA, has always been partisan.
It has always been partisan, okay, yes. It has always been partisan.
And they have addressed it
by forming another group. Okay.
Yes.
All right. A pro-NDC group.
No, and the other thing is that one of the reasons for people moving to, indeed, when Law Society was formed, when they're outdoor, I mean, the first 24 hours, they had over 2,000 people just joining. Yes.
People couldn't wait.
People couldn't wait.
On the NDC platform.
Not all NDC. And
on the NDC platform, they had already orchestrated this. And they were waiting.
No, let me also tell you.
Council, I am putting it to you that
I disagree with you.
Planned on your platform.
The mobilization has started.
It has started already.
I paid my dues at GBA this year. I paid over 2,000.
They are prepared.
I paid over 2,000. On GBA, but when I went to Law Society, it was less than 500.
Really?
Oh, yes. But that's a new thing. Is that entry strategy?
I mean,
every market, it's a marketing tool.
Oh,
it's an entry strategy.
At least, yeah. My due was 275, and the membership was about something.
Okay, let's take a break.
They wanted to weaken the GBA.
So you're also convinced that the ulterior motive is to weaken the GBA?
Because you see, the GBA, there are some boards and institutions you have GBA representation.
Yes.
The NDC feels that we are NDC, we are in power. We must have our people representing on these boards. But these persons we consider MPP because they are GBA executives are the people who are represented. Don't worry, we'll create our own thing, we'll push them out. Okay. That's what they are doing.
All right. So what we want to do is to take a break. Yes. Please stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television.
festive season is here again, and your most preferred estate partner is giving you 25% discount on land sale. Yes, for our Bronya Asase promo, Estate Masters is offering this massive discount for outright purchases. This includes free indenture, free site plan, and a free site visit. So what are you waiting for? Rush now and secure a plot of land while it is still hot. Reach out to us using the numbers below or visit our website at www.estatemastersgh.com. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
I'm a brand manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about Appointed Time Printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Brush, 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 brush your teeth. Brush, 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 2 times a day. Brush with Kel-Kit.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kel-Kit Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky chicky whiter, chicky chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel-Kit, happy smile.
The festive season is here again, and your most preferred estate partner is giving you 25% discount on land sale. Yes, for our Bronya Asase promo, Estate Masters is offering this massive discount for outright purchases. This includes free indenture, free site plan, and a free site visit. So what are you waiting for? Rush now and secure a plot of land while it is still hot. Reach out to us using the numbers below or visit our website at www.estatemastersgh.com. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
We are changing, so should you. If you're dreaming, don't be afraid. And in the valleys, keep your head up high. Dare to dream with Puma drinks. Puma, Puma. Yeah, believe it, you can achieve. Puma, Puma. Oh yeah, clap your hands for the whole new vibe. Make we start the Puma. Oh yeah, come alive. Puma, Puma. Let me hear you. Puma.
Puma Drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Casa Precon.
This advert is FDA approved.
Good morning, Mr. Ding.
Good morning, Ejako. And why do you keep staring at my rubbish container?
I'm surprised you're still using a bin without a cover. You know it can cause a mess.
My bin is just fine. Look, there is no leakage, still solid and robust. If you will excuse me, I have work to do.
Yo.
Dustbins are a great way of keeping trash off the streets and homes. However, the use of bins without fitting covers pose a challenge with stench from rotten items, flies, and scavengers. Keep the environment clean and healthy. Get dustbins with fitting covers.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600360, and connect with us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less. Choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Friend Calico, just call me cockroach.
Now, Mr. Friend once now.
Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the action. Me did a sasso spray. Mr. Friend is sasso quell. Yeah, go to my sasso.
Tum preko.
Healthy soil is where every great harvest begins. At ACAP, we turn waste into wealth, producing rich organic compost made right here in Ghana for our farmers and our future. Whether you are planting small or big, ACAP compost improves your soil, boosts your yields, and saves you money. Even in your own home garden, give your soil life naturally. ACAP compost, from waste to wealth.
Oh, Jose, and I media semesio. Canny pan, Nasana, Mushiana, what me. A drain I didn't quano. Kingdom Garlic Bitters. No, more benefiting. Me benefiting wine. Also, what told dear? Abrewa, the smile, Abrente, Mishuve. One antique crown our bread. No Kingdom Garlic Bitters and any capsules. Nanya, what ya brebia.
Kingdom Garlic Bitters and the capsules. Assembly, a devil when Amawani I say. Send your name, wife, company one personal. Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules and tea. Say, see, and password.
Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules. Emeni Chienya Sumdie Befi, Abrebia. Obebia o de poa how no. Edro baako pa wo hia ne tremendous capsules. Tremendous capsules esiesie wo ma wo ye obesima. Enro yi wo benya bi wo ba bia yeton nro bia. Kingdom Herbal, no challenger.
All right, so you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Aldo Moro, and I'm here with Fifi Boafo, Mr. Fifi Boafo, who is a member of the NPP's communications team, but also a former director of corporate affairs of Cocoa Board, and also Theophilus Jimega Jr. is a private legal practitioner, and also he has 3 engineers. I don't know how I'm going to, but 3 engineers. Engineer 1, Engineer 2, Engineer 3, Water Resources Engineer, Mine Engineer, and also, what's the last one? Civil engineer. Wow, 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 wow. Incredible. Anyway, Fifi.
Yes, sir.
I want us to move to this whole, in fact, it's been one of the biggest conversations since last week. And thankfully, you have worked in that sector, so I'm sure that you are more than qualified to comment on this matter. But before we do, somebody sent me a message, and I want to ask you, I want to ask for your response on this. He said it's from a gentleman called Hassan Saudogo. Saudogo from Tema. He's a regular viewer of the show.
Okay.
He said, please ask Fifi Boafo, wasn't he given a Mercedes-Benz just when he walked into the office of Cocoa Board in his capacity as corporate affairs director? Okay. Wasn't he also flying in and out, studying outside Ghana? He should please be honest to himself. Hassan Saudogo.
Okay.
Tema.
I worked in as manager at the office of the chief executive.
Right.
I did not go to Cocoa Board straight away as the director of public affairs. And not just when I worked in, but the entire 8 years I spent at Cocoa Board. Cocoa Board did not give me a car. I, Fifi Boafo, never used Cocoa Board car for either personal or official duties.
Because?
Well, I was entitled to a saloon car. I think they gave them what's the name? It's a Toyota car.
It's a Toyota.
Yeah.
It's a Camry?
No, Camry.
Okay.
An
Corolla.
No, the
Corolla.
Corolla.
Oh, the Corolla.
Yeah.
It's what you're entitled to.
No, that's what they gave them, and then some of the directors got an Audi or so.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was never given a car. I never, ever.
You never requested for it?
I think at the point I made a requisition. That was even for servicing of my car. I used my personal car. The car I was using before I went to Cocoa Board, I used it for about 3 years at Cocoa Board. And then I sold it and bought the same model of that car. And Cocoa Board never, ever, be it a saloon car or a 4-wheel drive, never. I did not only use my personal car when I worked at Cocoa Board, I also personally serviced my car. I remember when some of the staff said, "But Fifi, why are you using your own car and also servicing it yourself? At least as a director, you are entitled that your car gets serviced for the organization." When I wrote, I think the deputy chief executive said they were going to give me 500 Ghana cedis for servicing. And I said, thank you very much.
Second question, were you traveling in and out of Ghana? I mean, jetting in and off?
No. I spent time working. But of course, I am grateful to Cocoa Board for some opportunities I got. I know there was one training program between Ministry of Finance and some state agencies. And one of them, I had opportunity to train on negotiations at the University of Oxford, which I'm grateful to Cocoa Board for giving me that opportunity to train on negotiations at the University of Oxford in UK.
Okay.
And it was not given to me as the only staff of Cocoa Board. There are several other staff of Cocoa Board who were trained on different things. I remember one of my colleagues in my department, I recommended him to go for the same training at the University of Oxford. Others went to different institutions to be trained. And Cocoa Board is not the only state institution that trains its staff.
Okay.
And this was actually between Government of Ghana and those agencies. So it is not a case that I was traveling in and out studying at universities outside. Yes, I've had some trainings at some universities outside the country, but I know Cocoa Board sponsored for me to be trained at the University of Oxford.
Okay.
But to say that I was traveling in and out studying outside, well, I don't know what he's talking about.
All right. Okay, so gentlemen, we seem to have I don't know what to call it, a crisis, or we have a problem at hand, and we need to fix it. The fact of the matter is that one of the biggest drivers of our economy, the cocoa sector, is.
But talking about messages you've received,
yeah,
there's a woman I respect so much, and I admire her. Very, very industrious person, someone well respected in our community. She's in Takwa.
All right.
And she's watching the show, and she sends me a message. I remember when I was talking about the party persons who did not show up to vote and all that, and she says, "You owe us an apology first, and have to demonstrate a totally different attitude and mindset before you come to try.
Wow.
Before you come to try, not even to persuade us with any message." So, Council, Madam, thank you, but we'll definitely come to you. I've already started talking to you, and I'll continue. But it re-emphasizes the point that there are persons, and this is a typical MPP person who has spent money supporting the party over the years. So if this person says that we have to come and persuade them, and we must do certain things before we even come trying to persuade them, it tells you that there were a number of party people who did not show up. And it is our duty to go back and plead with them that yes, we are prepared to do things differently, and they must come along with us.
But for me, I think it's also an indication of the enormity of the task ahead of you.
It is surmountable.
It's surmountable.
It is surmountable.
Right.
These are human beings. These are persons who have expectations, and it is our responsibility to find means of addressing their concerns. And I believe that we are up to that task.
All right. Okay. So let's get on with, or let's get to brass tacks. Like I said, we have a big issues to deal with as far as Ghana's cocoa sector is concerned. We've had farmers complaining that for the last 3 months or so, they've not been paid for the beans that they have harvested. In fact, they're not being paid, they're not been buying them, basically. We've also heard from LBCs, licensed buying companies. In fact, we've heard the association, they've held a press conference. They've also told us the side of the issue. We've also heard from the Chief Executive Officer of Cocoa Board, who's also been explaining why we are where we are and what he's doing to take us out of where we are. Now, some of which you have disagreed with. I've heard you on one or two platforms have disagreed with, and you've told us your version of the story. Now, if you look at today's Economic Times, there's a very interesting editorial. I've been looking at it when I came to work this morning. It's a very interesting editorial, and I can juxtapose that against a story which is also here by one Adnan Adams Mohammed, who says that the Licensed Cocoa Buyers Association of Ghana, this is called the LICOBAG, that they've issued a warning for the nation's cocoa industry, asserting that a perfect storm of funding, shortfalls, flawed sales strategies, and deep-seated policy inconsistencies is pushing the sector towards an irreversible decline. Now, at a high-stakes press conference in Accra last week, LICOBAG Executive Secretary Das Vitus painted a grim picture of a sector struggling under the weight of liquidity crunch. He argues that without immediate intervention to restore professionalism and fix the broken financing model, Ghana, once the gold standard for global cocoa, risks losing its industry to illegal mining, which is galamsey, and a systemic collapse. Now, the most critical demand from the association is fundamental research of how cocoa is financed. Following Cocoa Board's departure from its traditional international syndicate loan model in 2024, licensed buying companies say they have pushed or they have been pushed actually into unsustainable debt. We suggest a review of the current funding model to allow for a hybrid arrangement, Mr. Jah stated. The proposal calls for combining the reliability of the old syndicated facility with the new structure to ensure real-time payment. Currently, LBCs are being forced to pre-finance cocoa purchase at interest rates as high as 29.8%, only to wait months for reimbursement from Cocoa Board. Now, emergency measures for 300,000 metric tons. The association also sounded the alarm on the growing backlog of unpaid cocoa, and Licobag is urging the government to secure an emergency facility to pay for an estimated 300,000 metric tons of cocoa produced and delivered. Now, cocoa delivered to ports since December 2025 remains unpaid. Mr. Jah revealed, adding that the delays have caused tensions to boil over at the grassroots level. Reports are emerging of farmers, arresting purchasing clerks who are unable to pay for delivered beans. There's also Licobag's roadmap to recover. Now, beyond the financial metrics, the crisis is threatening the quality of Ghana's premium A beans. With buying stalled, many farmers have resorted to for storing unsold cocoa in fertilizer bags, a practice that poses severe contamination risk and could lead to mass rejections at the international level. Now, serious efforts must be made to revamp the cocoa industry beyond rhetoric and theatrics. Mr. Jah concluded, calling for a paradigm shift that insulates the Ghana Cocoa Board from political interference and restores security of tenure for its technocrats. Now, let me just read the editorial so that I'll invite you to come in. Now, Ghana's cocoa industry cash flow crisis. Now, it says Ghana's once thriving cocoa industry seems to have fallen from grace to grass. An industry that produced a record 1 million tons of premium grade cocoa barely 2 decades ago now regards 650,000 tons, the target for the current season, as an unmitigated success. But even with the output now on the rebound from a recent low of less than 400,000 tons, the industry's capacity to pay its farmers has reached a long-term low, even as global prices recede from a record high, which those farmers did not benefit from. For decades, the Ghana Cocoa Board secured large syndicated loans, often over $1.3 billion from international banks, to pre-finance cocoa purchase to pay licensed buying companies, who then pay farmers. But in the 2023-2024 season, Cocoa Board only raised about $500 US. That's $500 million US. And in the 2024-2025 season, it failed to raise any syndicated funds at all. This has starved the value chain of liquidity and delayed payments downstream to farmers. Now, after traditional finance collapsed, Cocoa Board shifted to a new 60-40, later 80-20 pre-financing model, where international off-takers or the Bank of Ghana pre-finances cocoa purchases. Now, this increased the burden on LBCs and reduced Cocoa Board's control over funding, leaving many buyers unable or unwilling to finance purchases. As a result, large volumes of cocoa remain unsold in storage while farmers have gone unpaid. Cocoa Board's debts have ballooned to over 32 billion cedis, with huge contractor rollovers and losses because it could not deliver on forward contracts at market prices, forcing rollover into later seasons. This undermines export revenues and its ability to fund purchase and farmer payments. Now, a stronger Ghana cedi also means cocoa export receipts convert to few Ghana cedis locally, squeezing Cocoa Board's ability to settle obligations, including farmer payments funding. High cedi denominated domestic farm gate prices set by Cocoa Board when international prices were at an all-time high now exceed subsequently declining international market prices, combined with traders' reluctance to make large upfront payments under the new model. This weakened sales, reduces liquidity, and contributes to unsold stocks and payment delays. Now, to be sure, Cocoa Board has started making payments to LBC so they can pay farmers. The outstanding amounts to reduce farmers' hardship and restore confidence in the supply chain. But there is a further need to reform the pre-financing framework to balance risks between Cocoa Board, LBC's buyers, and financiers so that cash flows are predictable and timely. This might include formal guarantees, new syndication structures, or blended finance mechanism. Also, forward sales practice need to be improved so contracts better reflect market conditions and avoid revenue eroding for rollovers that damage future financing capacity. Hedging strategies or better alignment of farm gate with export markets can reduce risk for buyers and ensure smoother purchase cycles. If this financing crisis can be overcome, Ghana will have to decide on which of the several financing models to adopt to prevent a recurrence going forward. And there's the last two paragraphs, but I don't want to bore you with that. Let me start with you, Fifi Waffle. Oh, I should probably should start with.
Let me start.
Oh, you want to start? Good. Now, what's your appreciation? What's happening? What's the issue?
Well, Cocoa Board has had its issues over the years, but there's a peculiar problem that the board is facing today, and I do not think that should have been a problem that we should be dealing with at this point in time, especially with the depth of knowledge available at Cocoa Board. We should not be encountering this problem at this time. What is happening is the decision by government and management of Cocoa Board to jettison the forward sale policy that has existed over the years and that has served the board very well. I admit that the forward sale policy has its own shortcomings. So, for example, the reason why we are talking about forward contracts which have not been serviced is one of the shortcomings of the forward sale contract. But it is one thing you can also do without, because it will have a way of affecting you seriously, just as is happening today. There are other issues people talk about. For example, some debts that exist on the books of Cocoa Board, or the syndication, or the new model which Cocoa Board is currently using. But the main reason why we are here today is this. Cocoa Board, over the years, before the announcement of the Cocoa Producer Price, would do some forward sales. And the forward sales would guide the decision in determining how much the cocoa farmer is supposed to get, how much will be spent on servicing other industry costs like the LBC margins, haulage costs, fumigation, what goes into administrative costs at Cocoa Board, among other industry costs. Because you sell ahead, you have visibility. You are able to predict rightly that if I give the farmer X amount and I also spend Y on other services, I will be able to manage the industry successfully the entire year. And this is the practice that has existed over the years, at least from 1992 when we started the syndication process. Indeed, in 2024-2025, we opted against the syndication process because I remember in the days we used to do the syndication, anytime we signed a syndication, and it was always on the front page of the Daily Guide, Cocoa Board secures 1.3 billion for syndication, Cocoa Board secures 1.5.
Yes.
When I'm engaging the media, what you hear from the media is always, why are you always borrowing? Can't there be other means of financing the cocoa sector rather than always relying on the syndication? And indeed, we tried something new. The 60-40 arrangement, which is being bastardized today, is the same arrangement we used in 2024-2025. It worked and farmers got paid. So why do we have this problem at this time? We have this problem at this time because in 2025-2026 cocoa season, Cocoa Board decided not to do the forward sales. At least, I am restraining giving out some information because with the benefit of working with Cocoa Board, if you give a lot of information about trading and stocks, it has a way of affecting your ability to also get a good price in the market. But what Randy Abbey and the folks at Cocoa Board are doing, you are compelled to give us some of this information, even though it is not in the interest of the industry for us to do that. But hey, who am I? If the chief executive and the people there themselves are the people giving out this information, then that invitation is accepted for us to get there. I will still be measured anyway. They decided to do just about 30% of the crop, meaning that they do not know how much money they will get from the sales of cocoa, but they fix the price. So it is like going to the market. You go and buy a product, and the product you buy it, say, at 1,000 Ghana cedis. You do not know how much the product is sold on the market, but you bought it. Only for you to get to the market and they say, oh, this product is sold at 700 cedis. It therefore means that you are going to incur a loss of about 300 cedis. And that is where we are. To put it simply, for the understanding of everyone. But it is not that simple. So, Cocoa Board at the time of determining the cocoa producer price for cocoa farmers, the world market price was around $10,000.
Right.
Which year?
Oh, this year.
Okay.
No, in fact, last year, because the cocoa season starts October to September the following year. It doesn't follow the normal year we have, but it starts from October to September. At August last year, when they did the announcement, the world market price was around 10,000. Okay. It hovered between 10,000 and 8,000, at least 8,000. And then they said, Cocoa Board had rollover contracts which had not been serviced. In fact, last year, we were experiencing even $13,000 a ton at a time. It stayed at 12,000 for a long period of time. So, Cocoa Board explanation, and I remember Ato Forson, the finance minister, who I'm so surprised is quiet this time, said, because you have rollover contract, so we take that into consideration. We take all other costs at Cocoa Board into consideration and say that we'll give the farmer an equivalent of $5,040. Other industry costs adds up to, I think, something around 7,000, in the region of 7,000. And then the understanding is that if they get 7,000, every cocoa they sell, they must get around 7,000. And it was expected to be actually more than 7,000 because it said it was also to take care of the rollover contract that existed. So when you do that, the normal expectation is that the price is around 10,000. So you go ahead and you sell. Cocoa Board failed to sell. They have looked on since that period till date, where now the price is around 4,000. So any cocoa now sold on the market will mean that Cocoa Board is going to lose about $3,000 every ton. Because the price you determined, taking into consideration rollover and everything, was going to cost you about 7,000. How much you pay the farmer and the other industry cost. And now the price is 4,000. So now Cocoa Board is stuck. Cocoa Board is unable to sell. Because if you sell, you will lose out. So they are unable to sell. And bear in mind, the new arrangement we have, the 60-40. When the off-taker brings in the money, gives it to the LBC to buy, when Cocoa Board takes delivery of the cocoa, Cocoa Board is supposed to ship, and then the remaining amount is brought in. But you need a contract before that arrangement can take place. Now you're unable to sign contracts. The cocoa is there. I am told that they have about a stock of about 300,000 metric tons that has not been sold. So just do the calculation. 300,000 metric tons. Every ton you sell will give you a loss of about $3,000. They are stuck. They are unable to sell the cocoa. And primarily, that is the problem of Cocoa Board today. But you ask yourself, Moro, why would Cocoa Board sit down? Know that the price is at 10,000. Cocoa Board will not sell. Wait till the price drops to 4,000. Because they politicize the forward sale policy, criticize it all over, bastardize it, accuse people that they are doing the wrong thing. So when they got the opportunity, it was difficult for them now to replicate the same policy and opted for the spot sale. But what they forgot, or what they did not pay attention to, was the fact that the forward sale was not just to give you contract to be able to go for syndication, but it was also a way of managing risk. Because if you keep the cocoa and the price drops just as it has done now, you lose out in a big way. But if you have sold over a period of time, and even if the price drops, at least you will not be as badly hit as we are being hit today. And that's where we are. One unfortunate thing that has happened at Cocoa Board, as I've been reliably informed, and I know they cannot deny, is on an unnecessary theft war happening at Cocoa House. It is needless. It is not supposed to happen, and I am shocked that that has happened. The president indeed appointed Dr. Randy Yabi, who used to sit where you are seated. Maybe you are also modeling to be chief executive of
I've heard you.
Yeah. Dr. Randy Yabi, who used to sit where you are seated, he appointed him chief executive of Cocoa Board. And as a responsibility of the chief executive, together with his board, they appoint and move around directors. Indeed, he moved a lot of them. If you go to Cocoa House now, I'm sure, if not for the fact that I know people at different levels, I will look like a stranger there, because most of the directors we worked with are either somewhere in some corner, you cannot find them. But at least pushed some people up. The managing director of Cocoa Marketing Company was moved to an innocuous office. I doubt what he's doing at the moment. But hey, they say we shouldn't talk about the fact that they are not doing anything. The fact that they've been reassigned to something else, we should keep quiet about it. But he promoted a deputy managing director to become the managing director of Cocoa Marketing Company. And I have no doubt about the competence of the gentleman. Dr. Abi promoted to become the managing director. He is someone who has spent his entire life trading cocoa. He understands the industry very well. One fine morning, or one unfortunate morning I should rather say, there was a motorcade followed by Land Cruisers, drove to the compound of Cocoa Board, and a gentleman popped up and said, well, I have a, not a white letterhead, but I have a green letterhead from the President of the Republic appointing him as the managing director of Cocoa Marketing Company. So the one Randy Yabi promoted to the position of managing director must leave. And this gentleman took over as the managing director of Cocoa Board, and he's supposed to be our chief marketer. This chief marketer did not go just to market, but he went there and said that, I'm the new sheriff in town. Who is Randy Yabi? He has a green letter just like myself. Then the theft war started. Randy says A and he says B. Not ready to listen, not ready to engage, and not ready to collaborate. And the theft war has existed from the time this gentleman was appointed to date. So just look, and why is this theft war relevant in the conversation? It is relevant because the Cocoa Marketing Company, which this wisdom gentleman heads, the guy who is fighting Randy, they are supposed to sell the cocoa, but they only sell the cocoa based on mandate given by a committee who was chaired by Randy Yabi.
What's the name of the committee?
The committee is called the Sales Executive Committee.
Okay.
It is chaired by the chief executive of Cocoa Board.
Sales Executive
Committee.
Okay.
And the Cocoa Marketing Company, which this gentleman heads, they are responsible for providing the technical support for the decision making. And it's one, if not the most important committee at Cocoa House. Because if that committee gets it wrong, the entire cocoa industry is messed up. And that is what has happened. That committee, I am told, reliably, that even sometimes meetings are called and the managing director of the Cocoa Marketing Company says, I'm not in a good mood.
And that's wisdom.
He
doesn't attend.
He's sick. He doesn't show up. And even when he shows up, it's a different story altogether. Because he doesn't see eye to eye with Randy. And this is a critical part of the board. So instead of sitting down, jawing, bringing out the best of ideas in a collaborative manner for the industry, they sat down, engaged in needless theft war. Now the price has dropped to 4,000. Now you're unable to sell the cocoa. Now they have a mounting debt of about 11 billion owed to license buying companies. Now they have about 300,000 metric tons. 11 billion cedis. That's supposed to go to the cocoa farmer. Well, anyway, of going about this whole issue, Oh, blame the former government. Oh, there was debt. Oh, there was a rollover contract. Oh, they didn't go for syndication. They didn't even pay for the syndication they contracted. Yesterday, I put out an information to debunk that misinformation that they had gone ahead to share severally, that we did not pay for the 2024 syndication. The 2024 syndication was paid in full. So they should stop telling us.
But how did you pay it? How did you pay for the syndication?
You paid for the syndication with cocoa contracts.
Okay, cocoa contracts, okay.
Cocoa contracts.
Right.
I'll even come back to the bit about those who are suggesting. The editorial you read suggested that we should go back to the syndication. Now it is even difficult for Cocoa Board to go back to the syndication, and this is the reason why. Yesterday when I made a post, someone said that, well, Cocoa Board books were bad, and that is why Cocoa Board did not go for syndication. It is not accurate. Cocoa Board syndication is largely based on cocoa contracts. And that's how it works. You sign contract with the trade houses, and the contracts are lodged with the arrangers. And then anytime you deliver cocoa, then the money is paid to the lending banks. So they look at the contract you have, and that is the basis of signing any syndication deal. Today, we have about 300,000 metric tons of cocoa that has not been sold. You have to sell that. The cocoa that is on the farms, you have to buy and sell that before you can also sign new contract, which you will use as a guarantee for any future syndication. And now you have stocks you can't even sell, because every cocoa you are going to sell now will be something around 4,000. And you know what? With spot, you may get in the 4,000 the market is quoting, but with futures contract, it may be higher or lower. And if in a situation when it is lower, you see how precarious the condition or the situation we find ourselves in. And that has been caused by the NDC government and by the management of Ghana Cocoa Board. And they decide to hang it on the predecessor. The lack of candor in their conversation, the lack of sincerity in the engagement by Cocoa Board is part of the reason why we are struggling today in addressing the problem. I remember I saw a TikTok video by the head of public affairs, the gentleman who took over from me at the department, saying that, oh, this was in December. The reason why farmers had not been paid was that there was someone who was supposed to sign a check, and the person had traveled. And since the person had traveled, it was the person's absence is what caused the delay. And I said to myself, what has changed at Cocoa Board? Because I know that no single human being's absence could cause that to happen. Because if you are not there, you hand over to somebody, and the person can sign. And it's not just one person who signs. I do not know if the system has changed. I know the chief executive does not sign checks, but the deputies and the directorate, the finance directorate, handles that. And you, at every point in time, you have more than enough people who will be there to sign the check. And they said that was the reason why the farmers had not been paid. I'm sure the person, even if tomorrow Anki Kwesi's favorite country, even if the person had gone to Kosmukaya, the person would have returned. So why have the farmers not been paid? Day in, day out, they keep telling us, oh, well, we are sending money to the farmers, we are sending money to the farmers. Where is that money coming from? How are they raising the money? What is happening to the contract? And the lack of candor I talked about. Dr. Abiy said the Ghana cocoa has become expensive, and that is the reason why buyers are not buying it. And that is another untruth, unfortunately. Because if you say Ghana's cocoa has become expensive, since when? Ghana's cocoa is always considered premium cocoa. And it did not happen in 2026. It has been the case over the years. The reason why one may say at this time that Ghana's cocoa is expensive, it is only because now the price you fixed and the price available on the market is lower. The price you fixed and the price on the market, what is on the market is lower than the price you fixed. So if you decide to sell now, you will lose out. It doesn't in any way mean that it's because Ghana's cocoa is expensive and others are selling cheaply. They should be honest with us and let all of us help in addressing this problem.
I have some questions for you, but I'll defer that for now. Tio, what's your appreciation of what's happening to? I mean, you don't work at Cocoa Board. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I don't work at Cocoa Board, but
what do you know?
They've shared, as expected, they've shared some speaking notes with all government communicators.
Oh no, you don't know that for a fact.
Oh, I know that for a fact.
Don't do that.
You know, Moro, me, Fifi Boafo, I've been in this media space for so many years, and you know that.
Well, but it's not a crime, is it? Even if
no, there's nothing wrong with it. So he's going to speak to you.
It's to guide.
Yes, and then in there.
Do you have thinking?
Oh, he has it.
Lawyer, he's behaved like a typical lawyer on the other side, trying to dismantle you before you start. That's okay, but I will untangle the things he said. Tomorrow, I feel that it is a bit unfair if we allow the turf war situation to land, because Dr. Randy Abe is a call away. Sam Jerome, who has taken over, I think, from you, is also a call away. And the MD for Cocoa Marketing Company is also a call away. Okay. We need to get this to the bottom of this. However, this board, the board that is managing Cocoa Board currently...
not to take your time, but this turf war thing, I don't know how much they will decide to polish it up. To the extent that December, you have one party in this turf war setting up to have a party at Cocoa House and another party calling for it to be dismantled in the presence of the staff of the board. That is the extent it's gotten to.
You know this for a fact, or this is just hearsay?
For a fact. But
this is
you know
hearsay.
What?
This is hearsay.
It's not hearsay.
No, because you were not a participant.
So this
you
is
cannot
what you
say.
were told.
Yes,
but there's a potential evidence is there for us.
No. This is what you were told. So
right. And it's not coming from one person. You know, when you go to Cocoa House, there's a place called Abuja. When Cocoa Board staff listening to me, they know Abuja. Okay. Abuja is a place beyond Cocoa Board, and the staff go there. And they say, if you want to know what is happening at Cocoa Board, go to Abuja. And this is information from Abuja.
Again. So, Uncle Fifi, when you were talking, I was as quiet as a kindergarten teacher. So, with so much patience. So, allow me, let me. No matter how they will paint it, the idea that, you see, he made a comment earlier that whatever goes on in Cocoa Board must be handled with circumspect. So, because Cocoa Board trades with international entities, etc. Yeah. So, an issue such as problem with the management structure, it should not just lie that way. And I'll urge you to try and get to the bottom of this. These three individuals are just phone calls away. Right. They can, and Dr. Randy Abe has been on almost all the major networks from the weekend to today. Even last night was. So
let me share this information with you. Doc will be here tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, so all these will
so viewers, please make
all this will come out. So Dr. Randy, I would not like to take the steam out of whatever Doc will say. Okay. Then currently, I'm aware that monies are being paid to the LBCs, the license buying companies. So things are moving gradually as we go. But there are two things that he has said, which I believe that Uncle Fifi should, again, talking about candor and honesty, should highlight on. That the issues at Cocoa Board had been issues over the years. Right. That was how he started. Yeah. These had been issues over the years. Then he also goes on to say we are talking about institutional memory, people who have done the work over and over. But the question to ask yourself is that if there are people who have had the institutional memory, people who have done this over and over and over, why are we where we are today?
They've all been shipped out.
No, they needed to be shipped out because of things like what you have just said. Again, let me. Much as it is not okay, lawyers can refer to something and bring it in. chasing the elephant into the bush. He said one of the pieces of advice Nana Addo was giving is that people who contested with him should not be part of the campaign team. You should have moved them. If they had not even moved them, and we are hearing all this from you today, whether true or false, that are happening currently in Cocoa Board, assuming they were not moved, would have had worse than what you are telling us today. Even if people cough, it would have been reported to somebody else that have you heard somebody is coughing already. So they should have been moved. Now again, you are talking about the idea that there is cocoa stack there. No, I won't allow you. No, I won't allow you. Don't disturb my thoughts. No. Learn from me.
So it is not about what people learn from me.
Learn from me.
It is rather
learn from me. I allowed you to flow. It isn't that you had it.
It's just a friendly interruption.
No. He has had 3 friendly interruptions. None from me. Less than a minute. He was flowing for 10 minutes.
He studied at School of Mines opposite mine.
He was flowing for 10 minutes continuously. I never, even when I wanted to cough, I had to hide my coughing.
Please proceed. Thank you.
You see, there was something that was very significant about this syndicated loan. Now, listen to Dr. Randy Abbey very well. He's talking about the fact that why do we continue to go and borrow money, as he said, and that journalists ask, then we go and sell. In 2023-2024, we went in, borrowed money with a projection for which we never met. And we were left with over 333,700 tons of cocoa to meet. And we were selling that at $2,600 a ton. Now, when we came into another year that we have had the produce and the prices had gone up, then it means that we are going to sell the higher price at what we have contracted at a lower price. So we are going to have double a slap in the face. First, we are going to sell at a lower price. Then we'll be paying $500 per ton to the farmer. That has accumulated till today.
So we have it's 2006 and then 3,100.
3,100. So that is $500. Yes, difference. That you get the cocoa now and you have to sell it as the old price, because that was the contract you signed with the off-taker. Then you have to pay the new price to the farmer now.
Yeah.
So in effect, you are losing twice. That has been there. I would have expected that, having talked about candor and honesty, this would have been one of the first things you would have told us. Then we would have been at home to say that we have agreed with you. Let us move forward. Well, how do we handle these things going? But he didn't. For whatever reason, I'm sure when he gets the time, he will explain to us again. Then another thing that, you see, if you go always to borrow, which he said, that syndicated loan, which is something that we have been told that Ghana is very good at repayment. So give them the loan. Now, there will be a reason why the bank say, when we made the offer, they said we won't take it. Because they have a history of us not being able to supply when we made a commitment that we were going to supply. Then, of course, between the years 2023 to 2025, there was something we had in this country called DDEP. That also affected our international rating and the way we were able to get money from all this. Again, if you listen to Dr. Randy Abbey, he made a comment that as at the time the NDC exited in 2016, Cocoa Board had positive equity of 1.8 billion. Today, as at end of 2024, they had negative equity of 3.8 billion. It means we are in debt. Then, of course, there are certain things such as jute imports, even the ones they have not cleared by 3rd December 2024, they were signing contracts to import more, which were still coming in. And all these have been debt that are on the books of Cocoa Board. Before then, you have also heard about Cocoa Board having cocoa road contracts. And the funny part was that the road contracts were all being signed in dollars for Ghanaian contractors. And the Cocoa Board had to service all those things. A simple question you will ask is, now who caused them? It is along this background that Dr. Randy and his team are saying, look, we will not go for the syndicated loan now. Going forward, we have been brought in. They have been in office close to a year, if not a year and a few days now. He said that we would like to seek the money from inside Ghana so that our local banks will be able to offtake this and pay the farmers. That is where we are now. The idea that cocoa farmers are not being paid. Indeed, you referenced something, but I want to tell him, If he Googles, a simple Google will show him that even in 2021, there was a question from Honorable Kofi Adams that Cocoa Board should come and explain why farmers are not being paid. I am not saying let's compare failure to failure. But before you will be able to highlight on someone's failure, you should be morally upright to be able to highlight somebody's failure. So if the failure had not occurred before, that is why I said that the idea that these had been issues over the years, you would have been open to say that we've had this. Now, the institutional memory. You see, sometimes the posture will not make somebody to invite you to say, with your institutional memory, how do we do this? Now, if he had gone to say, hey, Sam Jerome, Dr. Randy Abbey, this is my institutional memory. This is my memo to you. Let us look at it and see if this can help. Perhaps today I'm not at Cocoa Board, but if we had done it this way, in the years that I was at Cocoa Board, it would have helped us. If he had done it that way, we would have been saying that, oh, come on, you have come with good ideas. Let us also try to implement it. But if it is one that is like you are hitting the nail here and hitting the nail there, meanwhile you've done the same things. Yesterday I saw a write-up, fake or real, I don't know, attributed to Professor Michael Quay. I believe you might have also seen it. That's talking about the fact that, hey, MPP, you didn't jump from Zambia all of a sudden to come to land in Ghana. You have all been here when we had all these problems. Indeed, it happened under your time too. Let us not make it an issue today. Let us join the Randy Abbey-led team to be able to fix this. That is what is happening now. I thank Dr. Randy Abbey for one reason, that he's been upfront telling Ghanaians the problems that they have inherited. To the extent that if you watched the program yesterday, Bernard was asking him, do you think people have called financial loss to the state? He said the appropriate agencies will deal with that. He will not. But where I sit, we couldn't have been managing Cocoa Board the way it was managed the last 8 years and expect that there will be glory. Finally, I want to ask, what was the reason for moving Cocoa Board from Ministry of Finance to Ministry of Agric? That also had the people who were in the finance team with the institutional memory, who were supposed to be managing this, and you moved the thing back to Ministry of Agric. And now it is back to Ministry of Finance. So when we are talking about institutional memory, there was a destabilization of the institutional memory there when it was moved from Ministry of Finance to Ministry of Agric. So in all sectors, this country had been run down for a while. So if they have picked up now and going through A, B, C to get this done, I believe the best is if you have the institutional memory and the institutional advice to give, better do it than it should be like they are hitting the nail because there's a failure. It is not a crisis. I believe that, see again, I said something earlier. He said he's surprised that the Minister of Finance has not been talking. And there are people before the Minister of Finance who should be talking. Currently, as we are talking, the price of cocoa is $4,000. How much did we promise the farmers earlier on? But they are saying that if we promise the farmers, then why don't pay now? We promised the farmers when the price was way above 4,000. Now it is 4,000. And with all the other inputs that will go in, even if we are paying the 4,000, we will run at a loss. Yes, I have a figure here which I will tell you that I am aware that the projected difference between 2025 and season is we are short by 70,000 tons. Now, where do we get the money to pay for all those ones? That is why the idea about going for syndicated loan every time is wrong. But there is light at the end of the tunnel that we should start to add value to the cocoa instead of always exporting the raw cocoa beans. And it's one of the things that is being done so as to mitigate the risks that we have. Because to go for money and say that I'll give you 100 bags of cocoa, and at the end of your farming season, you realize that you have only 80 bags of cocoa, then you are waiting that the next year, when the prices are becoming better, invariably, and you have 120 bags, then you need to get back the 20 bags before you move on to the 80 bags. So for me, the most important thing is what is happening next.
Okay. Fifi, like I said, I have a number of questions for you, but we'll have to take a break. Sorry, we'll take a break. But when we come back, I have just 3 or 4 questions to ask you before we move to our next.
There are a few things
you need to respond to. That's fine. That's fine. All right. So you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Please don't go anywhere.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to a mammy manful. Kale Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is so buying, and maniswing, and a sansu mama hoto so a will bedroom.
Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kale Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kale, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Changing, so should you. If you're dreaming, don't be afraid. And in the valleys, keep your head up high. Dare to dream with Puma drinks. Puma, Puma. Yeah, believe it, you can achieve. Puma, Puma. Oh yeah, clap your hands for the whole new vibe. Make we set the bliss. Oh yeah, come alive. Puma, Puma. Let me hear you. Puma.
Puma Drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Casa Precon.
This advert is FDA approved.
Zoomlion Private Services Limited, your waste management expert. One of the most innovative aspects of our business is our commitment to adopting cutting-edge technologies and sustainable practices in the waste management industry. We have invested in modern waste collection trucks, digital payment systems. We have also implemented efficient waste segregation systems and also developed strategic partnerships with our various stakeholders in the waste management value chain. I can talk about our innovative approach that enables us to reduce waste disposal costs, also minimize our environmental impact, and provide our clients with seamless customer service experience. We are the waste management experts.
What the matter there? Hey. What the matter there? Me step a foot, then me shot at them. I organize and I scatter them. I bag of money, stack of them. Pretty girls, me I
You are one on the 13th February. The Metro TV Campus Red Pool Party happening inside the Bayview Village. I'm coming to it live. Come join me and let's party, let's have fun, you know. What a man,
In every school, there is history. In every homecoming, there is pride. But in 2025, pride became competition. From convoys that shook the streets to colors worn with honor, from powerful reunions to legacy projects that will stand forever. Metro TV asked one bold question: which school truly owned the legacy in 2025? Welcome to School's Homecoming 2025. Who is who? Send your school name, convoy videos, speech and prize giving highlights, and your 2025 legacy projects to 0550 090 702. School's Homecoming, My School, My Pride. This event is sponsored by Zoom Lion and Appointed Time Printing. School's Homecoming 2025 is a Metro TV event supported by Original TV, Original 91.9 FM, and Metro Digital. It's free! Join the Children's President on Saturday, 21st February 2026 at the F1 Sutherland Children's Park at 9 a.m. sharp for kids in worship as we thank God for bringing back our president. This event is a Metro TV event supported by Original TV, Original FM, and Metro Digital.
All right, you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Aldo Moore. My guests are still here. We're having a conversation about the cocoa sector. There's a lot of politics there. Fifi Boafo is here. Fifi Boafo has headed the corporate affairs unit of the Cocoa Board for many years, and he's given us sharing his perspective on what's happening with the cocoa sector and the complaints by some farmers that they still have not been paid for the beans that they've sold. In some cases, they harvested the beans, but nobody's buying them. The LBCs are not buying them, and it's becoming a grave source of worry. Of course, Cocoa Board has said that everything has been done to make sure that we deal with this problem head on. Also, Mr. Theophilo Jimega is here. He's an engineer, both a civil engineer, mine engineer, and also a water resources engineer as well, and also a private legal practitioner. So he's also sharing his perspective on what he knows about the issue. So, Fifi, there was a lot of things that Theophilo said, yes, and you said that you want to respond to some of them. What are these? Okay, so the first one, I saw something rolling on the screen that I said I have no doubts about the capabilities of Randy Abbey. I think probably they didn't get me right. I didn't say that. So if that can, it needs to be fixed. Yeah, if that can be fixed. Yeah. Okay. And he talked about what I said about the silence of the finance minister and also the silence of the agric minister. I think that it is troubling that these two persons are quiet at this time. You know what? My days at Cocoa Board, these were the two loudest voices I encountered in the media. Okay. Almost every time there was an issue about Cocoa Board. Okay. Of course, I know that they've moved Cocoa Board from Ministry of Agric to Ministry of Finance, but there's still issues that relate to agriculture. So where is Eriko Poku? The gentleman who promised cocoa farmers they were going to pay them 7,000. Why has he now evaporated from the scene of the earth? Where is he? Why is he quiet? Is he not concerned? Is he no more the member of parliament for Goso and its localities where a lot of cocoa farmers are? That is a community that has produced about 3 national best cocoa farmers. Why is the member of parliament for that area, who is a cabinet minister, who is the minister responsible for agriculture? The farmers have not been paid for over 3 months, and Eriko Poku Honorable is quiet. That silence from him is one all of us must question. Indeed, Dr. Kasiel Atoforsen, the finance minister, Cocoa Board has been moved from Ministry of Agric to Ministry of Finance. He is one of the people who went round and accused the Nana Akufo-Addo and the MPP of being insensitive. He actually used the word wicked because we're not paying cocoa farmers 6,000. Today, farmers are not even getting 4,000. And even the 4,000, they are not getting it. And he's quiet. Dr. Forsen, please, the farmers want to hear from you. Why are you quiet? Speak up. Give some sort of comfort to these farmers who you promised we're going to pay them 9,000 Ghana cedis a bag. But Theophilos just told you the situation you bequeathed to them, which is to this government. Which is going to make it difficult for them to honor that promise. He's just walked you through.
That's why I said I was going to respond to what Q4 said. Dr. Forson was the ranking member of the Finance Committee of Parliament. We, at Cocoa Board at the time, appeared before the Finance Committee every year, and sometimes twice in a year.
Okay.
He had every information he needed about Cocoa Board because we presented same to him for them to scrutinize. So he cannot feign ignorance of what was happening at Cocoa Board at the time was making those promises.
Did the information you shared with the Finance Committee include the fact that there was a rollover of 330,000 tons?
You know one thing, I restrain myself in talking about Dr. Randy Abbey.
Oh, okay.
I do. At least we're all media people.
Right.
But Dr. Randy Abbey came on public, I think it was on Asempa Radio, and said that we did not talk about the rollover contract.
In your handing over notes?
In your handing over notes.
It wasn't captured
there. And it was in the handing over notes. It was actually in the executive summary.
Really?
Fifi Boafo, I was the one who handed over copies of the handing over note to the transition team when we appeared before them. That meeting was chaired by Dr. Forson. I think he left at a point. Honorable Setekwe was in the meeting. Eric Okuku was in the meeting. The gentleman who is at the office of the vice president, the economic advisor.
Oh, Etia Kabiru.
No, the current vice president.
It's a doctor.
There's a doctor, a young man.
Yeah.
He was in that meeting. They were all there. But you see, it is so boring to realize that the chief executive, even the summary of his handing over note, he did not read. Because if he had read it, he wouldn't have come on radio.
I think that would be unfair to him. I mean,
but wait. So that's why I said I am restraining myself in engaging that conversation.
Because if he did, do you have a soft copy of it?
Yes, I do.
It's a very important.
I'll share it with you.
Yes, that is why you don't have to.
Copy of the
because
yes, I'll share that with you.
At some point, share with me that page. That talked about the rollovers.
I'll share with you.
Yeah, because we're told that it was something that Cocoa Board, in fact, the new administration was confronted with. They didn't know.
It was there. It was in his the executive summary, not even the entire document.
I see.
Even the executive summary was there.
Okay.
But he was telling us he has not seen it. I don't want to go into the details of what happened behind the scenes.
Okay.
But I'm putting it on record that in the executive summary, which I will share a copy with you, the handing over note was there. It was there. In fact, I'm even learning that the 330,000 has been trumpeting all over the place. By January, the traders had even supplied some of the contracts. They've serviced those contracts.
January last year,
even before he took over, they have serviced some of those contracts. Why is he not making reference to? And another thing they've constantly been talking about. He says all the contracts were 2,100. That is inaccurate. Cocoa Board, you can't contract 330,000 metric tons of cocoa all at the same price.
What was the price? What do you know?
You sell at different prices at different times. So the least figure is what he's referring to.
No, I think he's referring to
that's disingenuous.
The figure for which they signed the contract to supply ahead.
Yeah, but now he's telling us that.
You are the one who said no interruption.
Yes. No, I've learned it from you.
No, Fifi, help me understand something.
So you see, we sign contracts. The contract you sign, you don't sign all the 330,000 metric tons contract in a day.
Right.
You sign those contracts at different dates.
Okay.
These contracts you sign different dates. You sign at different prices. But Dr. Abe is on radio, he's on television, constantly referring to the least price of the contract that was signed, as though all the 330,000 metric tons contract were
what do you recall as being the highest figure?
$12,000.
$12,000.
$12,000.
Yes.
Contracts were signed at $12,000 at the time the former government was there. Some contracts. But you see, I am not.
No. Still with the 330,000.
Yes.
So let's proceed with the assumption, or let's say for the sake of for the sake of argument, let's even say that the 330,000 tons that we're talking about was what was rolled over from 2024 to 2025. Okay. What percentage of the 330,000? Yes, I agree. I mean, it's not I agree, but I get it when you say they were signed at different times. Now, what percentage of that 330,000 tons was in relation to the 2001? And what percentage of it was in relation to the other figures that you're talking about? Okay. I don't know. You give my question.
I will not be in a position to do that. But you see, and I said this at the beginning of our conversation.
The reason why I'm asking you is because you see, it is possible that out of the 330,000, it was just maybe 1%.
It cannot be.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, for the sake of
yes,
argument,
but
maybe 5%.
I'm just straight away answering that it cannot be the case.
All right.
My friends or my former colleagues at the trading room will not be too pleased with me.
Okay.
If I get into the details of talking about contract and contract prices, because it has an effect on what they do at the trading room. And that's why I said that I am not too comfortable engaging in the details of what they do at the trading room, because if you go to Cocoa House, even the chief executive office is not out of bounds.
Okay.
But the trading room is out of bounds. It's not everyone who is allowed to go there.
Okay.
But here you are, having the chief executive of Cocoa Board discussing the details of trading room and trading contracts on television and radio. And that is what will force some of us to come in and then also engage in some of these conversations. The reason why I'm reluctant is because it goes against the state. When we lose, today the price is 4,000. The only options we have is either to reduce how much the farmer gets, or for government of Ghana to cushion. Whichever way it happens, it affects us as a people. And it is not in my interest as a Ghanaian to be part of an engagement that will make us lose as a people.
Right.
But there was another thing Council talked about when he said syndication was not serviced. I think we've adduced the evidence to that effect, that it was serviced. So I do not know why they will. Well, I'm sure it was part of his notes, just as I said.
I didn't say syndication. You just agreed right now that when Doctor was talking about 300,000 tons, somewhere at $12,000, somewhere at 2,600. What was the significance of that? The significance of that was that they were not supplying, and you said that you have been told that out of that 300,000 tons, some had already been supplied. That is exactly what I'm saying. That as at that time there was a deficit of supply.
If you agree that the misinformation going on out there, that syndication, we did not honor the syndication obligations, and that is why we are in this mess. If you agree that that misinformation must be put aside, then let's make progress.
I've not agreed that there is any misinformation that should be put aside. Come on.
People are going out there claiming.
But he hasn't said it.
You have said it. You were saying you have.
He does not have a disagreement.
I have a disagreement because I can't agree with you. If I don't agree with you, it means I disagree with you. You say you have documents and you have put them out, or you have information that you could put out recently that the syndication was settled. I am saying that I'm coming in to talk about the fact that the cocoa prices have reached 12,000. What in God's kingdom will make it that someone will buy cocoa and keep it when prices have reached $12,000 per ton?
Because they said they wanted to sell spots.
And keep it till
they said they wanted to sell spots.
They can't find sales. Now, if they have the material to sell, why would they keep it?
Let him land. You were explaining the syndicated matter.
Read this letter as I deal with the issues you talked about. He was talking about why they will wait. They waited because they were not ready to do forward sales. They waited because they were rather bothering themselves with infighting instead of paying attention to what matters to the industry and what matters to Ghanaians as a people. So that's the reason why they did not sell. The forward contract they talk about, I think there's one, he has not said it. There are some people who are even going around saying that Okokopot signed contract, took the money, squandered the money, and now they have to pay. It is not true. When you sign forward contract, you only get the money at the time you have delivered the cocoa. So it is not a case that we signed those contracts, took the money, misapplied the money and then now they have to supply cocoa for it. So that is not correct. I know you want to move on to other issues.
No, I know, but there's something I need to understand.
Okay.
When you arrange the syndicated loan, but of course, to be able to arrange the syndicated loan, you need the contract you have signed with the LBCs, right?
No, with the trade houses.
With the trade houses,
yeah.
As some kind of security.
Yes,
or
that's
collateral.
The because you don't. Yeah, that's the collateral used for the syndication.
Okay.
You do not use sovereign guarantee or any other
exactly.
guarantee for
Okay.
the contract.
Okay. To be able to, for instance, secure the syndicated loan. Now, when you secure the syndicated loan, it comes to the central bank, and the central bank will give it to you as CDs.
Yes.
Cocoa board, and the cocoa board will give it to the LBCs. The LBCs is going to buy the cocoa, and then they send it to CMC. CMC then exports it. So, and you're saying that the payment is made only after the goods have been delivered?
So, what?
Oh, from the off-taker?
From the off-taker.
Oh, not from the banks. Okay, the banks will give you the money in advance because they know the off-takers will pay.
Yes, so the syndication, the money is paid to Bank of Ghana.
Right.
But the contract is lodged with the arrangers.
Okay.
So the moment you do the shipping and the documents is transferred to the arrangers, the money is paid to the lending bank.
Usually Ghana International Bank.
Yes, GHIB.
Ghana International Bank.
And the monies that you give to the LBC is what you call the seed money.
Yes, the seed
Do you
money.
give them the entire money?
No. So this is one thing I think the conversation has not also addressed.
Okay.
There are people who are making the claim that it's as if asking license buying companies to go out there and buy the cocoa and get paid is wrong. All license buying companies, before you apply to Cocoa Board to be given a license to buy, you must even give an indication that as a license buying company, you have the capacity to raise money on your own to buy cocoa and get paid afterwards.
So why do we give them seed money then?
Because we realize that the seed money, if you look at the conditions around the seed money, it is cheaper, relatively, compared to the money they will raise from our local banks.
But
so why don't we make that arrangement in order to help them to be able to buy the cocoa operate at a cheaper cost?
If part of the conditions that you ought to meet before you qualify to be an LBC under the Ghana Cocoa Board arrangement is your ability to raise finance, we still go ahead to give them seed money. So I am an LBC. I require say $100,000 to buy cocoa from the cocoa farmers. A Cocoa Board will give me the 100,000 cedis for me to go and buy the cocoa from the cocoa farmers. Now, if Cocoa Board can arrange for money through syndicated loans to give it to the LBCs, why must your ability to raise money be a requirement? Do you get the point I'm making?
So
because woman is scanning anyway.
Scanning the amount. But the woman say, wow. But before, and you see, even before you go to the bank, you must show capacity before you go to the bank.
Sure.
So you will not also just want to give huge sums of money to men of straw.
Oh, okay.
Just in case anything happens. So the idea, the whole thing from what you get from all that he said is that the LBCs, the idea that the LBCs are not being paid shouldn't have arisen in the first place. Because the LBCs should have raised their own money to buy the beans. It is not for the Cocoa Board to have given them money first to buy it. That's what you are getting from it.
But let me be quick to add, in order not for the LBCs to get me wrong, is that one of the major concerns the LBCs also have is the fact that when they deliver cocoa, there's a payment must be done within a period. So, for example, if the license buying company has gone out there, they bought cocoa, they delivered the cocoa to Cocoa Board, and Cocoa Board is taking 3 months to pay them. Then that's problematic. Because I think almost all the time during the producer price review committee, one of the things the license buying companies negotiate for is also the period it would take, the turnaround time, where Cocoa Board will pay them when they deliver the cocoa. So if they've delivered the cocoa and it's taking you over 3 months and you are not paying them, then there's something wrong.
Okay, that's fine. But when was the last time you gave seed money to the LBCs?
This was the 2023-2024 season.
2023-2024.
Yeah. Because with this syndication in 2023-2024, we've had only 2 seasons from 1992 where we've not done syndication. And that's 2024-2025 and 2025-2026.
2026. That syndication you did, how much did you...
800.
It was 800?
Yes.
And when did the money hit your account?
I think that delayed. It hit the account in December.
What was the cause of the delay?
Of course...
Because in between time, the LBCs would have been buying...
Let me be brutally frank with you. Okay. Yes. There has never been an occasion where the season is started and LBCs get money before the season starts.
Oh, it always comes late.
Every year, no matter how fast the money comes in. Because the license buying companies, even before the time you open the season in October, they start even, at least, they know the cocoa farmers, and they start harvesting sometimes even in August, September. They deliver the cocoa to the LBCs, they take delivery of the cocoa, and then they start paying them, those that are resourceful. They start paying them before the
because my understanding is that the LBCs were taking in between time. The LBCs were going to the banks to take money, and the banks were charging some 35%.
Yes.
You know,
yes,
on these LBCs.
I'm aware of that.
And Cocoa Board has been struggling to pay the LBCs, including this 35%, because that's extra cost to Cocoa Board.
It is not extra cost. It's a cost to the license buying company.
Okay, but they will pass it on to.
Well, no, they have margins, so they play within their margins.
Right.
Every cocoa you supply or every cocoa you buy from the cocoa farmer, there are margins you get paid by Cocoa Board. So this 35% thing is a facility they take, and the facility they take as a license buying company, you should be able to say that, okay, if I take this facility and the turnaround time is say 14 days, I should be able to repay the facility such that I will not suffer as a business.
Isn't it the case that seed money was always available before the season opens?
It's not true.
It's not true.
It's not true. It is usually paid beginning of the season. But the truth is that Cocoa Board usually, if you like, go back to the Daily Graphic, because anytime you sign a syndication, it's on the front page of the Daily Graphic.
Okay.
When you sign it, it takes some time before you do the drawdown. It varies. Sometimes within 3 weeks, the money is in, the money is transferred to the license buying company.
Okay.
Sometimes a month, and sometimes it takes a bit of a time.
Okay.
But yes, it's a fact that when you have the syndication, the money comes in beginning of the season.
Right.
But I can state without any doubt in my mind that there has never been an occasion where the season is open, for example, on the 7th of October, and the money is given to the LBCs on 1st of October.
Because again, my understanding is that because you are not giving the seed monies on time, and some of these LBCs had to go to the banks and borrow and so on. Some of them actually were struggling to pay back, and some of them collapsed.
I have indicated this to you.
Some LBCs collapsed under your tenure.
Oh, LBCs, you know, the truth is that there's a competition. It's a business enterprise.
Okay.
And that competition you have, you got in the, you had in there some very resourceful license buying companies, the Olams, the Cargills, and co. These are companies that are backed by multinationals.
Right.
So if they are doing business, the money they get to support their businesses compared to, for example, a local LBC, your source of funding is different, and then they will outmuscle you at a point in time. So yes, I agree that some were pushing out others. But there's a lady, I've forgotten the name of a company, a Ghanaian company, doing massively well. Okay. I don't know the situation as it stands now. Okay. But that's a local company. I think Alaji, Global Haulage.
Yes.
That's one of one of the children.
Okay.
She's in the space and she was doing amazingly well as a local company. So yes, others were doing well, others were not doing so well. But it is not because seed money was not coming before the beginning of the season.
So again, I'm told that one of the challenges that you had during your time was that the seed money was used to set up a foot soldiers who were previously men of straw. Otherwise, why would they give it knowing that ability to finance means no support? The seed money arrangement is a three-legged table.
Which food soldier? I think that people must show respect to businesses.
Okay.
There was no single company that was set up as a full soldiers company.
Okay. All right.
People set up their businesses, and those businesses were giving seed money to operate. Okay. So to just put it out there that monies were being given to food soldiers, who are they referring to, and how much didn't the person buy the cocoa? Okay. I think it is only fair that people show respect.
All right. So let me read these few messages, and I can give you just some. Unfortunately, our time is up. I don't know this, but
you didn't talk about how the NDC is maltreating Baba Jamal.
No, our time is up. So Niama sends a message. Said over the 8 years of MEP administration, mismanagement of the cocoa sector was taken to unprecedented levels. What was done at Cocoa Board was not only reckless, but criminal and deeply unpatriotic. The institution was systematically run aground. 1.6 billion cedi surplus inherited in 2016 was converted into a staggering 21 billion cedis debt. Allow me to paint the picture of the record within the 8 years they were in charge. Cocoa Board inherited a huge debt burden of 32.91 billion cedis, including $481 million and $10.06 billion in commitments due between 2025 and 2026. There were rollover cocoa contracts covering 333,768 tons sold at 2.661 per ton. That's far below current market price. Out of this, 235,394 tons were delivered using the 2024-2025 crop, even though farmers were paid a higher produce price, creating a $103 million funding gap. Because of these rollover contracts, Cocoa Board lost potential revenue of about $941.6 million, assuming the cocoa had been sold at a market rate of $6,600 per ton. In addition, Cocoa Board incurred a CTOR related debts of 4 billion cedis. On cocoa rehabilitation, an AFDB funded $350 million project was meant to rehabilitate 156,400 hectares of disease-affected farms, but only 40,000 hectares were completed, despite the entire amount being spent, with an additional $700 million. Cocoa road projects also showed a big funding gap, with 26 billion cedis in commitment against PPRC allocation of some 4.7 billion cedis. Finally, Cocoa Board's wage bill is heavy, with over 18,600 staff costing 2.64 billion cedis annually, while the total budget of 2025-2026 stands at 3.53 billion cedis, raising sustainability concerns. Yet, the very individuals who presided over this collapse now stand at the sideline, shouting the loudest, branding you incompetent and deliberately misleading farmers with their false claims that their unpaid monies were used to purchase V8 vehicles for you and your directors. In truth, the vehicles procured were operational pickups acquired to strengthen field operations and improve service delivery in cocoa growing areas. Now, this one says the NDC made Ghanaians believe they had practical solutions to the challenges facing the country, which is why the people voted for them. Dr. Randiabi himself once said on Good Morning Ghana that it's only a useless government that complains without solutions. He should now be guided by the same principle and fix the mess at Cocoa Board immediately. That's Gideon Ejapon, say you also. And then Tafai Namir here, your messages are too long. It says, good morning, Audu. Fifi Wafu is not being honest. Audu, Fifi owns the most luxurious cars, including the most expensive 2025 Jeep Wrangler. How much was his salary to afford those cars? Fifi and his boss ran the Cocoa Board down. That's a fact. Audu, let me continue to deal with those shameless my party MPs who called for annulment of Baba Jamal victory. Audu, no MP in this country who never paid for the primaries. Every MP paid during the primaries because if they don't pay, they will lose. Poto. And Papa Bisu finally says, good morning, bro. Good to have Fifi Wafu in your studio. Most of the time, under previous government, which he was part, he's coming out to paint a good picture of cocoa, but the cat is now out of the bag. Alleged corruption and whole lots of mess they left behind, which has affected our cocoa farmers negatively. Now, let me do this before we leave, because our time is up and I'm running out of time. Now, it's about Valentine's. Valentine's is the next 4 days. And don't just feel the love, come swim in it. Red lights, cool water, good music, fine faces, soft touches. Whether you're coming with your crush, your partner, or just ready to meet someone special, please. Metro TV is bringing you the Campus Red Pool Party. And where love meets rhythm and Valentine gets wet. It's Friday, 13th February, from 4 p.m. at Bayview Village, Atomic Junction. Dress in a red bikini and shorts, bring your vibe, let the water do the talking. Artists on the bill include Kojo Black and Lade, the Ghana Boy, and the top 10 rap generals from Beats and The Sip. Campus Red Pool Party. Valentine belongs here. Grab your ticket. It's 60 Ghana cedis for a single and 100 cedis for a double. For more details, now put this number down. 0270-916956. 0270-916956. Gentlemen, it's unfortunate we have to go, but I can assure you Thursday, Dr. Randy, yes, you can see we've just displayed it on the screen. But let me also quickly do this before we go. it's a very important funeral announcement that I need to do before I take leave of you. So it's this one. Oh, sorry. That's a funeral announcement. That's not it at all. Sorry about that. Congratulations. It's actually a congratulatory message. Now, congratulations, Doris Kwekwo Ej. Wembley Sports Construction Limited, the AstroTurf expert, extends his warmest congratulations to Doris Kwekwo Ej, that's MCIPD, on her well-deserved appointment as Managing Director of Zoomlion. We're delighted to celebrate this significant milestone in your distinguished career. Your appointment to this pivotal role reflects your exceptional leadership, commitment to excellence, and proven track record in the industry. Your remarkable journey with Zoomlion since its inception in 2006 underscores your deep loyalty and pivotal role in shaping the company's growth and success. You are uniquely positioned to guide it forward on even brighter future. And as a passionate advocate for improved waste management and environmental sustainability, we're confident that your wealth of experience, innovative vision, and strategic insights will drive continued progress. Your dedication to cleaner, healthier communities aligns seamlessly with Zoomlion's mission, and under your leadership, the organization will undoubtedly achieve new heights. Your professional achievements and championed values resonate strongly with us at Wembley Sports Construction Limited. Leaders like you are essential to building a more sustainable future for our nation and beyond. As you embark on this exciting chapter, we wish you continued success, wise decision-making, and the fulfillment in all endeavors. May this role bring great satisfaction as you amplify your impact in waste management and environmental stewardship. Once again, congratulations on this outstanding achievement. We look forward to your remarkable contributions in this new capacity. Congratulations to you, and we wish you the best and highest regards, management and staff, Wembley Sports Construction Limited, the AstroTurf experts. And so congratulations once again to you, Doris Kwekwo Ej. Congratulations. And so don't worry, Dr. Randy Abe is on Thursday, so he responds to a lot of the issues that Fifi Boafo, not Dr. Fifi, but Fifi Boafo has raised. Anyway, thanks, gentlemen, for coming this morning. It's been wonderful talking to you. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ampedu.
Good afternoon, Mr. Asare.